go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teach Hanley, and support the Media Man YouTube channel, and also support Teach Hanley.
How can I be sure that you'll be right for me? You say you'd die for me. Will you survive for me? Yeah. Take up some space. Yeah. You're too far away. Make no mistake. Hey, I think you should stay. I want every little bit. I ain't never seen it drip like this. Heaven at my fingertips. Let's not let a minute slip. Just say you have me. Oh, taste and see. Yeah, I hope you don't sleep on me. I've got good and plenty, yeah.
It's up to me to let her hear what I want her to hear. This game, this how you play. This how you catch a bitch, man. You know, you niggas don't know. You know, all this. Hey, you heard ABCs? It's ABPs. Always be playing. always. You never just say something out your mouth, man. Especially when somebody can hear it. This shit got to have intention.
Bitch, you know my game tight. You came at me wrong, now how you gon' make it right? Cali marijuana in my bone, take a flight. You remind me of the ladies in my song. This my type of nigga name, and then see a pimp pop up. Even the most sedity ones behind the tents, my slut. Lying when I tell the truth, they all convinced I fucked. Who don't need no witnesses, they couldn't print my cup. I'm on the worldwide tour, getting to it's my plan. And fucking all the bitches I can. She got a date with the dope man. I'ma get it high, leaving none. Mr. Hef, aka he the one. You got me here, now what we doing? There's a line outside our options that I could be screwing. Fighting with my conscience cause it's you that I'm pursuing. Kick it with that nonsense for you exiting that too. Spent the whole day stressing by the morning, I'll be straight. If I told them all that I would call it, I'll be fake. Lose my fucking number, no response, it's a mistake. Good as how I'm doing good, compliments the hate. I'm on the worldwide tour, getting to it's my plan. And fucking all the bitches I can. She got a date with the dope man. I'ma get it high, leaving none. Mr. Hef, aka.
So when you say the first thing, yeah, baby, you know I'm pimping, right? Oh, wow, she's already conjured up the bullshit she didn't heard. She ain't listening to you no more. So what I'm saying is, you gotta understand that first. And then you gotta understand the way that you actually use this to your advantage is to not be like them. You know, when the bitch say some stupid ass fucking shit, alright, I'm gone.
She on a pill, I'm on that pink. Her legs on my shoulders, her ass on my sink. My phone ringing, she ain't even blink. Shit kept ringing, wonder what he must think. I ain't got the time, baby, don't quit him. Pillow on her face, I don't pillow talk with him. I bag him up, brag him, then forget him. Knock some years off him, let you niggas babysit him. I'm on the worldwide tour, getting to it's my plan. And fucking all the bitches I can. She got a date with the dope man. I'ma get it high, leaving none. Mr. Hef, aka he the one.
I ain't gotta spend my time with you. You know, if you wanna fuck with me, fine, it's about pimping with me. But about me trying to convince you that I'm pimping, you know, fuck you, bitch. There's way too many motherfucking hoes out there for me to go fuck with you. Than to sit up in here and try to talk you into fucking with me, bitch. You know, make me look little to sit up in here and try to talk your motherfucking bitch ass into, you know, fucking with me. You know, if you can't see it, then, you know, you lose. I'm the motherfucking prize. You know, I'm the prize. You're not the prize. I can have 7 motherfuckers like you. You can't never find another motherfucker like me.
What's going on? Welcome back to another Media Man Live on this Good Friday, the last Friday, the last day of May. I'm glad we made it. Blessings to all you guys. Good to have you here on this last day going into June. Man, it's going to be a great month. I promise y'all that, man. We're going to stay healthy, keep hitting it in the gym. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of discussions about that centered around the gym today, which is one of my favorite subjects to cover. But yeah, I'm excited for today's show. We have a lot to cover. A lot of different discussions need to be had, especially the topic of narcissism. I'm going to open up the DSM-5 for you guys, and we're going to look at all of the different 9 traits of developing narcissistic personality disorder. I have some amazing videos that will give the men some insight in regards to what to look for from women when you deal with a narcissistic woman, how the numbers are increasing for women, and the actual statistics of how many narcissists we actually have, people that are diagnosed with MPD. Yes, it's not as common as women make it seem. So hopefully they're listening and they're watching this live stream so I can educate them as well. I had so much fun getting these videos together. We're going to touch on a couple different topics, like I said, involving dating. And then also a surprise for you guys. You guys mentioned this content creator's name so many times. And we're going to start off the show with him first so we can address this one particular topic. And I learned a lot over these past couple of days having this discussion. I can't wait to cover it with you guys. So stay tuned. I promise you, this is a mixed bag, but it's going to be centered all around narcissism. And I cannot wait to discuss it. Y'all hear it all the time. So yeah, so let me get to these super chats and see a couple here. So we got grown men talking in the building with the $20 bomb on you, boy. Man, what's going on, good brother? Man, we going into June. We good, man. Good to see you here. He said, always got that dope intro music. Looking forward to the show. Man, it's going to be a great show. And it takes me so much time to try and find music that isn't copyrighted, that's in my playlist. If I could, man, I would share it with y'all. So many hidden gems that I have on my playlist, man. And it's just copyrighted. Don't think I don't try. I try my best to try and make sure I can get around it, but it's tough, man. But so I found a couple, especially that 8 Ball and MJG. I was surprised that didn't come back. That Space Age Pimpin' is one of the first love songs that I heard. If you can consider it a love song. But yeah, my guy Ball and G, man, even though them boys from Memphis. And we used to play Ball and G so much on the West Coast. They are heavily respected up north, Northern California, Southern California, all the way through, man. Their music is timeless. Love Ball and G, man. And then also, y'all know I'm a huge fan of Lloyd Banks. The brother got me through some tough times with them mixtapes, and I've been rocking with him ever since. And that's kind of rare, me being from California, go all the way to New York to mess with, PLK, what I'm saying, the Punchline King. That's my guy. So yeah, huge fan of Lloyd Banks. So I'm glad I was able to bring some of that good music with you guys. And I also share some new artists with you. That's Remy Williams. I put his TikTok in the chat. So if you guys want to check out Remy Williams, he's the one that's responsible for that Good and Plenty remix. Go check him out. He has so many different songs. Some of them, y'all need to play with your girl. You know what I'm saying? They cold. So I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. This is gonna be a great show, man. I can't wait. Let's see here. And we got D320KG with the 199 super chat, said hitting the gym and right now, respect media man. Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. I just got back from the gym, had a great workout. I can't wait to have this discussion. I can't wait. Hold on, let's see here. And we got Dante Bryan with the $5 super chat. He says, yes, so women can finally put this to rest. Every dude they didn't work it out with is a narcissist. Yeah, man. And I just love having these. It's so funny that I remember it was somebody's show where they asked a woman, do you know what that actually means? And she didn't know. She just had heard women saying it and she parroted it. But we gonna talk about it. We gonna get to the root of it in a fair way. And like I said, I want to make sure that the women get some education out of this as well, even though these conversations are centered around men and making ourselves better and understanding the truth. Yeah, they're gonna definitely learn something as well if they're open to it. We'll see. Let's see here. You got Truth Dude say, oh man, classic. Oh yeah, man, that's it. Grown man talk. What's going on? Truest Dude, he said it would be better if I could use copywritten music. It would help expose the artist's music to a wider audience. Yeah, and I try and do that as much as I can. And I have a lot of music downloaded from Dat Piff. You guys remember Dat Piff? They used to come out with the mixtapes. I still have some of their music, and it's tough to transfer over from Apple to my computer and bring it into like an MP4 or something like that. So what I usually do is I'll find some of my old music. I'll go to YouTube and I'll see if they loaded it up to YouTube. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And then I'll test it out just to make sure I won't get copywritten and then give them credit when I, use it on the live stream. So, and I've been doing that for a lot of different artists from, independent, new, SoundCloud, TikTok, and then also some tried and true veterans such as Lloyd Banks and Ball and G. So hopefully I can continue bringing some of their music to the forefront, because those artists, the artists that I bring to you guys, man, they inspired me a lot. You know, I learned a lot about women, especially for Ball and G. So yeah, and Lloyd Banks, man, he got that, you know, that music that gets you going. You know, hey, you keep your eyes on the prize, keep your head down, keep working hard, and you'll get what you want. So let's see here. And we got Dante Bryant again. He said, tight grip on the Tech 9. Now it's time to creep. Hollow tips in the clip, putting suckers in a deep sleep. You don't know nothing about. Come on, man, brother. Come on, brothers. Y'all, you know, it's to see y'all young buckaroos. Y'all just remember when he was signed to Bad Boy, ironically. You know what I'm saying? Ball and G. Don't make me kill me. that's what y'all know. You know, you don't know that Space Age pimping type stuff, you know. Oh man, that's a great song though. That's great gym songs. I'm gonna tell you that much. Incognito Blue, looking forward to this one. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Truest dude, I'm sub to their channel. Oh, cool. And Skinny Boy 20 Boy said, I had the Dat Piff app back in the day. I was a download junkie. Oh yeah, I got all the. I wish I could play Fabulous, his Soul Tape classics. He did 1, 2, and 3. Man, I try my best. Some of the music I can play, some of it I can't, but those Soul Tape albums were amazing. And I remember he did an interview on the Breakfast Club, and he discussed it because people were saying that his mixtapes tend to be better than his albums. But he was like, man, the only reason why that is because when I put it out as a mixtape, I don't have to get clearance to use the different songs that I used to make those albums. I didn't know that's how it worked until he explained it to me. So that's why those Soul Tape 1, 2, and 3 albums, they are amazing because he used different music from old school to new school, and he was able to rap over it and made like complete, classic albums. Those 3 are some of my favorite albums. I mean, ever. I remember I had a playlist that I would take some of the best songs from the 3 albums, and it came out to maybe like 20, 25 songs. And that's how much I rock with those albums. So yeah, the dude is a genius on that mixtape. If y'all ain't checked out the Soul Tape classics, please do so. I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. It's amazing. Let's see, Dante Bryant, $2 super chat. He said, bro, said that pit. Yeah, man, taking me way back. I used to love it. Shavor Fair. I'll say that. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. $10 super chat. Said Media Man was in Dar es Salaam. Oh, okay. So I missed the part of last show. I wish you added foreign women. Wonder what tier they will be in. Nah, I had to use. It was just it was only for the women in the States, for the Black American women in the States. I wanted to use them and highlight them and just let people know that Black women aren't a monolith, of course, and they operate in many different spaces, as does Black men. So hopefully I was able to get the message out as clear as possible. I didn't see any backlash because I was very respectful. You all were very respectful. And I think we had an amazing time doing that little game show or whatever. And hopefully everybody enjoyed it. So let's see here. Fax Kellerman says Soul Tape is now on Apple Music. Oh, okay. Let me see. That's probably why I can't get none of the music out. Soul Tape. Yeah, there we go. Wait, is that mine's or? Hopefully he didn't change nothing. Yeah, it's on there. Okay, cool. Y'all should be able to get everything on there. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. Cool. That's a good look, Fax Kellerman. I didn't know that. That's probably why some of the music don't show up. I'm gonna keep trying though. I see some of my favorite ones. They got that Dice Pineapples remix on there. Look at it. Look at that. Hey, Situationships. I tried to play that on here. Well, I did play it on here. And I think it got copywritten a little while later because, it's on Apple Music now. So let's see here. Skinny Boy, 20 Boy, 8 Ball, and MJG. The Artist Pays the Price is my favorite underrated classics. Man, y'all got to go back and listen to Ball and G, man. We in the West, we listen to a lot of different artists. And some artists, I think the reason why we gravitated towards them because they sounded like they were from California, and Ball and G, you know, what they were discussing sounded like Oakland. You know what I'm saying? So we used to rock with them. Who else? UGK, you know, Bun B and Pimp C. Them dudes are legends in California. Them, who else can operate in California and give much respect? It's a bunch of artists. Devin the Dude, one of my favorite artists of all time. We love Devin out there, man. That's one of my favorite artists, man. Listen to it. I got some of his music on my playlist. So Devin is my guy. So let's see here. Oh, we got Mona in the building. Thank you, Mona, for being here. I appreciate the support. The profile picture is amazing. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, Mona in the building. So make sure you respect Mona as you do me. Thank you. And you got, okay, UGK, DJ Quick. Oh, yeah, DJ Quick, legend. You know what I'm saying? California legend. Truest dude. Miss Motor D, what up? Oh, man. Yeah, man, it's a skinny boy. Devin is my guy. That's my guy. There we go. Let's see here. And Ancient, Devin the Dude is a classic artist. Mama, if that girl calls, tell her I'm in the bathroom pooping. That dude had an album cover with his ass on the toilet. I don't know what made me buy that album from Tower Records because of that, because I thought it was funny. And then he eventually became one of my great, you know, my best artists, you know, rappers. And that first time I ever heard this saying was from Devin the Dude. They would call Devin your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. And it just made so much sense. Because every rapper, when you mention his name, they know about Devin the Dude. And I think Currency is on that level right now. He's the most consistent. He comes out with an album damn near every other week. And I think everybody in the industry rocks with Currency. That's one of my favorite artists. One of my young troops that I used to work with, he put me up on Currency in 2013 while we were stationed in Portugal. And I've been rocking with Currency ever since. So, yeah, Currency demands that respect. He commands that respect as well. Your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So, and Lloyd Banks is in that category as well. You mentioned his name, people say, oh, he nice. You know what I'm saying? Lloyd Banks, cool. Let's see here. Truth do say, welcome everybody. Like the stream as you come in. Thank you. We got 61 folks in the building. And this is going to be a great, I promise y'all. Thank you for sending in the super chats, man. I know it's everybody trying to unwind. So I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Dante Bryan said Currency is so dope. Absolutely. That boy Antoine, check out Jimmy Waters. He drops a tape every month. Okay, cool. Never heard of Jimmy Waters. I'm going to check him out. I've been listening, I guess, to a lot of Larry June. You know, I don't know if y'all know who Larry June is. You know what I'm saying? He sings the song I'm Him. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. Man, he has so many albums. Him, who else? It's a lot of different albums, but Larry June is my guy. You know, you can put on a Larry June album, and, you know, we in Houston, one of the best skylines ever. Sometimes we just ride down there, you know, hit a little cafe or something like that at nighttime and put on that Larry June and just cruise, you know. Let's see here. And we got Marcus L. Boston, author. What's going on, good brother? He said, we up in here, fellas, holding it down. Yeah, man. Hey, good to see Marcus in the building. Let's see here. Yeah, look, Currency. Yeah, Seminole said he stayed dropping albums. Hey, you ain't lying. And I'll be right there with. I'm like, hey, man, let me go ahead. That Fire in the Sky album is one of my favorites. He has one of my best, my favorite songs of all time. It's called The Specialist. If there are any young men in the chat right now, go download Currency's album titled Fire in the Sky, and he has a song on there called The Specialist. Listen to that album, or listen to that song. Young guys, I promise you, go listen to that song, The Specialist, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. Okay? Keep it, remember that. The Specialist. All right, so let's get to it. Don't say I ain't never told you nothing. If anything you do, go listen to the specialist. Let me see here. All right, let me check Cash Apps real quick. Let me see if we good. We good. We good. And we good on here. Let me pull this up. Cool. Okay. So the first title or topic that I want to discuss, let me show you guys right here. Like I said, I learned a lot. All right. So you see this. I asked this question on my community post. I say, question, when a woman says, I like nerds in regards to her dating preferences, what do you think that means? And does she start voicing her attraction to nerds when she's younger or older? And I was telling you guys that I had a great conversation when I was at work. I was actually on a Zoom call and we stayed behind, and sometimes we just be, yik-yakking in the background. And we had a bunch of women on there and they were talking about, the topic of, calling guys nerds. And I just asked a question. I was like, well, what is a nerd in y'all opinion? And they were like, well, they were telling me like I probably wouldn't fit in the nerd category. But I'm like, well, I got 4 degrees and I work in biostatistics with y'all. What are you talking about? They don't get no nerdier than that. They're like, no. That ain't what we consider nerds, but those are the type of guys that we go for, and I was like, so a guy with glasses, very, well off, and, got a couple of degrees, and it was like, nah, it's more than that. But none of them mentioned anything about watching anime. None of them listed anything about pocket protectors. And when I mentioned the fact of Steve Urkel, they were like, hell no. And I'm like, but he was a nerd, right? And I was like, well, what are y'all talking about when you actually mean nerds? And I kind of got the idea that they were describing a man who is well-educated, in shape, attractive, wears glasses, and on occasions he may do something unconventional for fun, outside of what black men are supposed to like. Maybe hiking, watching anime, going to Comic-Con, which I have been before in Denver. So, but I'm like, well, that's not your typical nerd. And when I asked this question, it was so many guys in the comments mentioning this content creator's name, named Flat Top Chicken. No lie. His name is Flat Top Chicken. And I was like, who is this guy? You guys keep mentioning him, but you're not putting any links in there. So I had to research and I found a young black man. He sounds like he's a black man. And yeah, I think he said it in this video. He's a black guy. And he centered his, I guess he centered his page around speaking for the real black nerds. And he had some interesting videos that were very informative to me. And me personally, I wasn't the jock of high school, but I wasn't a nerd. I think I was just a guy. I was just one of those dudes who was in school, going to school. I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't a jock. I was just there. So I don't think I would fit into the category of nerd. So I didn't understand what that actually meant, even though I used to love playing video games. But there were some differences, I guess. And Flat Top Chicken, he actually did a great, video of breaking everything down. And I want to go over with you guys since you guys mentioned it. If you guys know who that is, put it in the chat. Let me see here. Anybody know who was the ones that mentioned Flat Top Chicken? Let me see here. Dante Bryant, $2 says she's trying to get her OnlyFans jumping. Okay. And Dante Bryant, $5 super chat. So now, who have I been trying to tell you about for months? Is that you? It was a bunch of people saying Flat Top Chicken, Flat Top Chicken. So yeah. So let's get to it. I want to let Flat Top Chicken speak for himself, and then we'll stop it a couple of times just so we can go over it. Let me. Okay, I get that in a minute. Jay Bernard. Well, matter of fact, what's going on, Jay? 499 super chat said today. Women today call using logic and maintaining reasonable boundaries being toxic, gaslighting, narcissistic. When you do it with them, Hashtag cheapening the words. Yeah, man. And honestly, I tell you guys all the time, I think it's a good thing that women have pushback in regards to what, the changes that they see amongst men, because that means that they're listening. And of course, you got to deal with the shaming tactics, calling men sassy, calling them gay. It is what it is. Y'all got the playbook. You done read it multiple times. That should, roll off like, water on the back of a duck or whatever, right? Y'all understand everything. So I think it's a good sign that they understand these talking points and they just decide to shame you for them. But that should be a positive for you all, because when these play out in the dating market, it's not like you're going to go up to a woman and be like, hey, I am a RP guy and this is what I believe in. What do you bring to the table? Even though some guys were doing that on my channel and I had to talk about it. But in a realistic situation, all you need to do is know where you stand and have your own standards. At that point, you're armed with everything that you need on the dating market to get what you want, to either qualify or disqualify. So that's why these spaces are so important, because we kind of like brought the barbershop talk to YouTube. And on my platform, we try and do it as respectful as possible to where women can, digest it more evenly, so to speak, even though getting the message out there. So I think the guys over here, y'all understand it. And we got some videos that's going to prove that. But before I get in, go on with that, let's get to Flat Top Chicken's video. Here you go. Fair use.
Grown up as a nerdy black dude, as I have, you would know that black women would not touch you with a 10-foot pole. But I'll talk about that later. Back to the tweet. It was so bad that somebody started a separate Twitter thread where they asked black women to post their nerdy black boyfriends. And all that Twitter thread ended up being was black women posting their conventionally attractive boyfriends who just so happened to be in the nerdy stuff. Now, I will admit that there was a few couples in there that truly were just two nerds falling in love. But what made the tweet even funnier was that in that thread, a couple of black women were getting exposed for lusting after white men in the past. And all I got.
So somebody mentioned that, and I'm sorry to stop it so early. There was a guy, I think in last live stream, he was like, yeah, when I put up the anime / gamer girl, it was a couple guys say, well, if they're a black anime gamer girl, they tend to be into white men. And this is what Flat Top Chicken is actually saying. And also, he just confirmed, he was like, hey, man, the women who were putting the pictures up of their boyfriend, they were conventionally attractive men, black men, but they were just into nerdy stuff like anime. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to speak too much for him, but I think he does an amazing job. But I see some correlation in regards to the black gamer girls being attracted to white men. I wonder what that is, why that is, and why black men can't just be that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's continue.
Got to say about that is, those in glass houses should not throw stones. Now, here comes the part where I talk about my personal experience on this topic. I don't know if you realize it yet, but I myself am a black nerd. I am an African-American male who possesses unconventional hobbies such as anime and video games. I'm not going to use the term blurred because I think that shit sounds fucking stupid. I've been playing video games and watching anime since I was in grade school. I got a fat-ass PS2 game collection. On occasion, I hunt down rare retro games so I can add them to my collection. I really do this nerd shit. And I can safely say after 20 years of being a nerd has never gotten me any pussy whatsoever. No.
So he's being honest, and this is his experience. He's basically telling you guys that all that nerd talk that women keep saying, I love nerds, he's saying it's all cap. And I think a lot of you guys agree in the comment section. Here we go.
Woman in the history of ever has ever wanted to date me because I told her I liked Inuyasha or Cowboy Bebop or Dragon Ball Z. No woman has ever thrown it back on me because I told her I like going to arcades. A woman has never had to wring out her panties because I told her I had a collection of PS2 games. It's just never happened. Being a nerd never got me any bitches, just plain and simple. I'll tell you what it did get me though. It got me flamed and ridiculed often until about the beginning of high school. No joke, I got called gay for nearly a whole semester after I mentioned that I played video games.
Why would people call him gay because he liked to play video games? What is that? What sense does that make? Here we go.
Y'all think I'm making this up? This happened in 8th grade. Now, with this in mind, you can imagine how surprised I was when people began to come out of the woodwork just a few years later talking about how much they love nerdy men. Ooh, I love me a guy who likes anime. Now people are trying to rewrite history and say people didn't get bullied back in the day for liking anime. Oh, you didn't get bullied for liking anime? You got bullied because you Naruto ran in the hallways.
So, I'm sorry. I've heard this before from social media. I've seen that tweet before where people were trying to invalidate their experience by saying you didn't get bullied because you was a nerd, because you got bullied because you was running around, doing the Naruto run, or you was playing Dragon Ball Z, in lunch hall. And he's like, no, that's not anything that we do. And then he's going to say something that's actually sad, man. I'm like, damn. And I was like, that's crazy that people would label these types of black men like this. Listen to what he says. This is very crazy.
Tried to go Super Saiyan in the middle of class. Bro, how you gonna tell me what happened to me? How you gonna tell me I didn't get called gay for liking Dragon Ball Z? The worst offenders of this revisionist history campaign are the girls who want to sit there and tell you, oh, y'all didn't like us back in high school. Y'all always went after all of the white girls. Hold up, let me get this straight. So you're telling me that as hard as it was back then to find a girl, let alone a black girl who was into nerdy stuff, nerdy black men was just out here curving nerdy girls left and right?
Man, this is some bullshit.
That's a great point. And I'm glad I found this channel, or you guys told me about this. I've heard that before. It's like, well, the nerd guys didn't like black women, so they were going for white women. But he was like, we wouldn't get no cheeks in high school. No girls liked us. So you mean to tell me I curved black women so I could get white women? They didn't like us either. So it wasn't that. And I know you guys have heard this before. They say, well, y'all didn't even like black women. Like, how you know? You never even tried to mess with us because we was, nerds. That's what he's saying. That was a great point. Here we go. Fair use.
I wish I was getting approached by some nerdy black girls back in high school and middle school. In my entire school career, I only knew 3 black girls who was into nerdy shit. One of them used to bully me, the other one friend zoned me, and the third one moved away. Now, 2 out of 3 of those girls are dating white guys now, but that's besides the point. All I'm saying is nerdy black girls, nerdy girls in general, they was not just popping up out of thin air back in the day like y'all say they were. If anything, the nerdy girls were the ones who were going after other dudes, because there was always this weird phenomenon that happened in high school where almost none of the nerdy guys had girlfriends, but almost all of the nerdy girls had boyfriends. Look,
that's a great observation. That's a great observation. You would assume that the nerdy girl would be with the nerdy guy, but nope. They were with conventionally attractive young men, I guess. So that's another great point.
back in the day, it was a drought for nerdy dudes. I remember back in high school when we had this esports club, right? Freshmen that started joining the esports club, right? There was this one girl out of like 10, maybe 12 dudes. Anytime she would walk in the classroom, she just had a legion of dudes flocking her. She wasn't even that attractive. Like, she had teeth that looked like picket fences. Like, her teeth were throwing up gang signs. They were going in like all sorts of opposite directions. It was crazy. But for some odd reason, she always had this legion of dudes around her. So to anybody who says, you just didn't want us,
shut your goddamn ass up.
That's all we wanted back then. All we wanted was to be able to play Budokai Tenkaichi 2 with our little boo thing right next to us. But we couldn't get that. It was hard out here for nerds. And then you got people who just get nasty with it. I saw this one dude on Twitter say, you didn't get bullied because you watched anime. You were just a horrible person.
That's what bothered me. That was sad. I'm like, how are you gonna say that this guy was a horrible person? I was like, man, that pissed me off. I was like, how do you just make an assumption like that when you don't even know a person to say that they were horrible people? What? As a kid in high school? Jesus Christ, our community. Lord.
I can't believe it. Watching Inuyasha and Dragon Ball Z on Saturday nights on Toonami made me such a horrible person. How could I have been so blind? Man, compared to me, King Von must have been a saint.
Bro, stop it.
Get some help.
Now, as much dogging as I just did on people who said we didn't get bullied for liking anime, I gotta agree with them to an extent. We didn't get bullied for liking anime. We got bullied for liking anime while being ugly. It's about time.
Now there's a good point. That was one of the things that was missing from the guys who were trying to explain the nerd dynamic when we started to discuss this. He's saying that we didn't get bullied just because we were nerds. We got bullied because we were unattractive. So in the comment section, is that true? Do y'all agree or disagree with what Flat Top Chicken is saying? I want to hear it, because that goes against what I've heard so far. I've never heard a man say anything about them being unattractive, and that's why you didn't get cheeks. So let me know. Like, okay, Nelson Moore said true. Tasha says agree. Okay. Von Smith says agree. Dante says somewhat. Big Boy said looks did matter back in 95. Okay. Let me see here. $5 super chat from Mr. Donnie Mack said the bullying was real, especially from black women in MS, middle school and high school. BGS Ibmore calls it Klingon mating strategy from Star Trek. Okay. Sean Sipp said agree. I agree. Okay. Peter said you should also watch his follow-up video. I did. I watched the whole one, but I didn't want to, I don't poach, whole videos from folks. So even this is cut up. So yeah, so I watched it. Just some insight. He actually did a great job. He said it took him 3 months to put that other video together. So let's see here. Christian Tucker said I'm nerdy and it never stopped me from getting cheeks. What, Christian Tucker? Explain. Give everybody your stats in the chat. How tall are you? Are you in shape? Are you chubby? You got a good job? You got money? You got your own house, car, etc., etc., etc. If you could, because from what I learned, that plays a part. You can't just say that I'm nerdy and be like, oh, leave it at that, and I get cheeks. Like, no, it has to be something involved with that. I'm considered a nerd. I have degrees in STEM field. I work in the STEM field. I don't know if that's where classified as that, but from old movies, if you worked in these kind of fields or you're an educated person, we used to clown people and call them Poindexters. From Martin's show where he called the dude in the DMV Poindexter. That's the typical name if somebody is doing something, smart, I guess, intelligent. And we still use that. Even when I was in the military, if somebody passed a tough school, especially when I was in security forces, they had a vehicle investigation course. And it was one of the toughest ones that, a SF member could take, because we're supposed to be the dumb ones, right? And when we send people to this particular school, it was like a big thing when they passed because it involved a lot of math. I had a troop that I sent to this school. I remember his name. His name was A1C Painter. Big country dude. Nope, didn't really talk that much, but he was smart as hell. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to send you, we got a slot. I want to send you to this school. You think you can handle it? And he was like, yeah. And I remember when he went to the school, he came back. I think he got one of the honors for being like top educator or something like that, best test scores or something. And, first thing I told him, I was like, man, you old Poindexter, like clowning. I was like, man, I'm proud of you, and it was like a big thing. So when I say it, it's a good thing, but we still clown. You know how brothers are, So that's what we do. But yeah, it's but now when I hear women say it, they'll say, I like nerdy guys. It's never in a negative connotation now. But back in the day, if a woman called you a nerd, that was a bad thing. But I also noticed something, that women tend to call men nerds and liking nerds when they get older and or when they have children, because they like to associate Russell Wilson with being a nerd. Russell Wilson is not a nerd. Russell Wilson was a two-sport athlete. He could have went pro. He could have went to the MLB, and he ended up playing football, right? He was not a nerd. And I know that's, people in these spaces call him simp or whatever. I told guys to leave Russell Wilson alone because obviously he's happy Him and Sierra got 4-5 kids running around. So it's pretty much it's past her trying to just use him because he's a good guy. She's pretty much locked in. I mean, hey, you could have your reservations about her having a kid with Russ or with Future. It is what it is. We know why she did it. Russell was safe. He loves that woman. Stop talking about Russell Wilson. He was not a nerd, right? So yeah. So I learned a lot, but I hear women say I like nerds after, they pass the age of, let's say 32, 33 years old. And now all of a sudden, I love nerds. And like, well, yeah, because you didn't have your chances with the Futures of the world. You may have some buckaroos running around and you like, well, this nerd is safe. So now he could take care of my kids that I had with this guy. And I'm glad that young men are seeing through this, because we need channels such as Flat Top Chicken to educate men on what these things actually mean. And then also to move it forward, I've noticed it, and you guys can use this on the dating market. Don't let women use you as the cleanup man. That's what it is. So let me see here. Did we get in? Let me see. Where's who did I ask to put their stats in here? Christian Tucker. Yeah, let me know. Mr. Diamond, looking back, the ones who liked us bullied us even more. Jesus Christ. Let me see here. Dante Bryan, $5 super chat, says she's locked in until that 10-year mark. Then she's going to take that pound of flesh. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on Russell Wilson, but I mean, we all know what it is. So I just tell people to leave him alone, because it doesn't make sense to keep rehashing the conversation of Russell Wilson being a simp. You know what I'm saying? The dude, Sierra stay pregnant. So she happy, he happy. It is what it is, brothers. So, see, Rod said ran through by the Futures, but want to settle down with the Russells. I mean, you get it. You get it. Sierra got lucky. We know that. That's why she has the Sierra's prayer. Women who have children, they see Russell as a guy who never tells her no. And that's what makes him attractive to them. Because you remember when they first got together, Russell was doing all types of sweet stuff, and they were putting it on social media platforms that were predominantly black women. And when they would see that, black women got the impression that he never tells her no. Whatever Sierra wants to do, she want to make a video with her twerking, her wearing a dress with her booty out, and men were like, man, Russell, why are you letting her get away with this stuff? But women applauded him for not saying anything. And we thought that was a soft ass move. I wouldn't allow my woman to do that. Yes, I said allow. No, I wouldn't have let my woman do that. But Russell Wilson seems like the guy that just whatever you want, baby. And that's attractive to women. So in order to understand women, you have to understand that they are selfish by nature. And it's okay for us to say that, because women will tell you that. So yeah, and that's, it is what it is. So whatever benefits them first, then it's good. If it doesn't benefit them, it's bad, which leads us to this conversation of the narcissism. We know this. Let's see here. Christian Tucker, $20 super chat. Thank you. Say I'm 5'9", in shape, and make 6 figures. I think that it's how charismatic you are. I've been fortunate to not have issues in high school or as an adult. However, in high school, I got attention from everyone except black women. Salute, meaty man. Thank you for putting that in there. Yeah, like I said, those things have a lot to do with it. And the height thing, and I was literally just talking about the height stigma. It's not a stigma. It's actually true. But I didn't know that this existed until I got into these spaces. I didn't know that men let the height thing stop them from approaching women. Because I told you guys, I showed you my medical records. I'm 5'8" 3/4, but I'm swole. So that's the great equalizer. And I can't wait to get to this discussion real quick, but I've never had any issues with women once I came into my own. When I was young, in high school, wasn't really out, after women like that. My mom put the fear of God into my heart by saying, if you get a woman pregnant, I'm kicking your ass out. So I used to run from the booty. It is what it is. I didn't end up losing my virginity until I was 18 years old. So, I know that's when you're supposed to use it. I know there's some guys out there that lost their virginity when they were much younger than that. So, yeah. So I guess you would consider me a late bloomer, particularly in the black community, because we like to shame black men for not getting no cheeks in high school. And I'm glad that we're slowly gravitating out of that mindset by telling these black men that, hey, if you don't get no cheeks, then you less of a man. No, that means you're smart. Just like the rest of black men who, don't have children. 54% of black men don't have children. So I applaud you. When I was growing up, we weren't applauded for that. Okay? We were actually shamed. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Where my old heads in there. Let's see here. Dante Bryan $5 super chat said, you mean like when she was running away from his kiss? Yeah, that stuff. I remember that video. That was funny. Let's see here. Big Boy said women are selfish by nature and hypergamous as well. It's a survival technique, been around thousands of years. Yeah, and like I said, it's not me saying that. It's not an indictment of women. It just is what it is. And I think it would help a lot of men in these spaces if they just understand that women are going to be women. They're not going to be like us. And you just have to learn how to adapt or deal with them in the most positive way. Yes, women are the weaker sex. So they have to figure out ways to manipulate themselves to, quote unquote, stay alive. If we're going back into the older days. So if a husband would die, you know what I'm saying? They would have to try and partner with somebody who would take care of them kids. And that's what you see in present day. If they don't have a husband, not due to him passing, just them being single mothers, that's why women applaud single fathers, because they need somebody to take care of them. And they say that men who take care of another woman's or another man's children are great men. But men, we see it differently. But women don't, and that's okay. They're just it's women. That's what they do. They have to do it. The sooner you understand that, the better you will be. I swear, a lot of stress would be off of you if you just understand that women are going to be women. You treat them like adults and not as princesses on this pedestal, because they're going to F up just like men are going to F up. Okay? And I try and stress that as much as I can on this page, because I still see men getting upset for womening. Let's see it. Rod said dudes were smashing chicks in middle school. Yeah, it's like I said. So Trues do say, yes, sir, team, no kids. Yeah. Don Neo Pepe, medium man, you're not a nerd. You're just smart. Nerds don't look like creative players. Thank you, brother. I take that as a compliment. Oh, it was funny. Ross says stepdaddy season. Yeah. And it's going to be an internal argument in the black community every time. The single fathers is like, or, stepfathers. It's no argument. It just is what it is. Remove yourselves from these damn conversations. Women like stepfathers. Men don't want to be stepfathers. But what I learned, and I told you guys to go on Spiritual Word, where they put up that tweet from that woman saying, single fathers are weak men. And there were a lot of men speaking up saying, no, that's not true. And I told black women to go to that comment section and go date those guys. Don't come your asses over here getting mad at men saying, I don't want to date a woman with children. Go to that comment section, write their Instagram pages down, and reach out to them. What up, though? And you're going to find out real shortly that them brothers was lying. Yeah. Well, them women come to the front of the stage. Let me tell you how men move. If you go to that Spiritual Word tweet where those men were saying, hey, we love single mothers. If you deal with one of those guys, you know what's going to happen? They're going to blow your back out and they will never commit to you. Because if you listen to their words, I love dating single mothers. I don't love marrying single mothers. So they will deal with your asses until the booty run out and they get tired of you, and then they're going to leave. Because y'all the ones that keep the kids away from these types of guys because you like, I want to be safe, which is respectable and commendable. I understand the reasons why. You don't want to keep bringing these guys around your kids. I understand it, but there's no connection there. So when you try to introduce your children to this new man that you've been having sex with for 6 months to a year, he don't know them kids. And he gonna figure out a way to end the relationship. Now you back on the dating market looking for another stepfather and talking about, N words ain't ish. That's how the game works. So that's why I want women to be on my live streams so I can tell you how men run game, because they present themselves as like these upstanding gentlemen. I love dating single mothers. It's always dating. It's never I love marrying single mothers. This is what y'all need to hear. And that's why I tell women, you have to be very mindful of how you vet these men who come to you as wolves in sheep's clothing. Okay? So before you start having sex with this guy, you need to make sure that he's in it for the long run. He needs to understand that, hey, I'm looking for a husband. I need a man in the house because I have children. Don't let him pull the wool over your eyes and treat you like a queen. And next thing you know, you out and about, and it's been 3 months, 6 months, y'all having sex, and then you get rid of your ass. From your friendly neighborhood media man. If y'all want to take my advice, it is, you don't, I don't care. But I'm just telling you the truth. These men will lie to y'all asses. So call them out. Ask them. Every time you see a post of a man defending stepfathers, why are you saying dating, sir? We're looking for husbands. That's what you should be looking for. Not for some dude to date for 6 months and then he gonna get rid of your ass. Okay? I need somebody to tell you. I'm getting tired of these dudes playing around. I love single mothers can cook. They got snacks. And none of them stick around. I wonder why. Yeah, these dudes, the parasites of the social media. I hate those types of dudes. I hate them because y'all sit there and lie to women. And they go out to the dating market handicapped because they think they're on some sort of pedestal, and then they get their asses knocked right off of it when they hear platforms like mine. And I be realistic with y'all asses. Don't listen to them guys. They are the worst of the worst. Let's see here. Rod to stepdaddy season. Project Leroy stepdaddy sucker season incoming. Men's viewpoint. What's going on, good brother? He said, hey, man. Rod, medium man built like a buff anime character. Oh, wow. Ben's viewpoint. Women want stepfathers, but not signing up to be stepmothers. Yeah. And to be truth be told, men's viewpoint, I don't want black women with no children dealing with a man with kids, even though there's a different dynamic of men being the provider. And he already understands that if he takes on a new girlfriend or a wife, he's going to have to take care of all of them. I understand that. But I would rather that woman partner up with one of the 54% of black men who don't have children, because there's only 39% of black women who have never mothered children. So why would I want her to get with the guy who already has kids? I want her to partner with one of the 54%. So, and that may be different thinking from a lot of these spaces, but that's why we have different content creators. I'm not here to dispel anybody's ideology on their own platform. If you feel that their message aligns better with your life, by all means, support them. But you're going to get, original thoughts on my platform. So I don't want black women who don't have kids dealing with men who do. That it is what it is. Let's see here. Big E Sharp said, medium man, I was your height in 11th grade. Then I grew to 6'1" in the 12th grade. Wow. But I work in STEM field trying to get back in shape. Oh, man, you got it, brother. Hey, that's as long as you got the drive to do it, man, you good. The hard part is done. You in STEM and you 6'1", brother. Let's get in shape. Charles Merchant said, marrying a single mother is like eating another man's chewing. Look, let's see. Why you get to take it there, brother? Why you get to take it there? JT Coin Rings in the building. Now it's the show. My guy, 199 Super Chat said, good to see you, media man in the chat. Man, welcome. Everybody say what up to JT, the guy. See, Jonathan G said, what's the chat media man is reading and how you get, what's the chat media man is reading and how do you get that? I don't understand. What am I missing? Explain. Let's see. Rod said, "Damn, I wouldn't say all that." Sean Stiff. Hey, nah, man, but I think a good partnering for single mothers would be a man with kids. Why not? Brady Bunch that shit. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Y'all both parents, combine, those families together and do what you need to do. Because, I mean, it's going to be a tough road to hoe, especially for women. You trying to find a man with no kids to take care of you and yours. Come on. I mean, it's tough. Sir Anthony said they're asking about the super chats. I'm reading them. Did I miss them? What I miss? Oh, y'all can't see the chat? Sean still say he probably can't see the chat. Why not? Y'all can't see the chat? Let me check. Hold on. No, it's up. The chat is good. Am I missing something? Jonathan G said, never mind. Sorry. LOL. Good. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks. Like, man. All right. So let's finish up the video. I know I went on a whole diatribe, but let's go.
Time somebody told the truth on this subject, so I guess I gotta be the one to do it. I hate this topic mainly because it's so dishonest. Women, be honest. You do not like nerds. You like conventionally attractive dudes who just so happen to be in the nerdy stuff. Seriously, can you recall a time where a man has gotten you soaked by telling you that he's read Berserk 5 times? I didn't think so. You met a guy that you found attractive, and him being into the same stuff that you were into was merely a bonus. You already wanted to date him. In my 20 years of living, I've never heard a woman tell another girl, he was fine, but he wasn't into anime. Could you believe that? I told him, I can't do this. My man has got to be into anime. He's got to be watching Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop. I've seen nerdy women date men who aren't even remotely nerdy. You want to know why they still dated them? Because they found them attractive. So women, stop lying and saying that you like nerds. You don't. Ugly people have it rough. When you're ugly, everything you do is deemed weird and unappealing. There's a reason it took anime this long to go mainstream, even though anime's been out since like the 1980s. That's because attractive people started liking anime. And when people like Megan Thee Stallion and Michael B. Jordan started coming out talking about how much they like anime, that's when anime started to become mainstream. If these celebrities weren't talking about anime would have never seen the light of day. It would have remained underground and people would still be getting bullied for liking Dragon Ball Z. So if nobody's gonna say it, I'm gonna be the one to say it. There is a difference between a nerd and a conventionally attractive man who happens to like nerdy things.
That's the point of this video. And I think the black community needs to be honest about this, in particular black women. Don't sit there and lie and say that y'all like nerds. No, you like conventionally attractive black men who was into nerdy things, anime, whatever the hell else. That's what it is. It's okay. And these guys, they understand the grift, so to speak. And one thing that I learned, I think maybe like a couple years ago, Myron from Fresh and Fit, he said that they played a video of this girl saying that she loves fat men or she loves nerdy guys. But then he was like, no, the reason why she's saying that is because she wants to get her OnlyFans subscriber count up. Because if she gets these guys to believe that she actually likes these types of men, then they're going to subscribe. And they went to her page, and sure enough, she had an OnlyFans account. So that's why these women will say that publicly. I like guys with dad bods. I like guys who are overweight. I want to be warm in the winter. I like nerdy guys. And they'll make these videos saying that. And these guys who have low self-esteem will listen and be like, oh, yeah, she does. And they will go ahead and hit that $4.99 OF subscription. And now they, giving her all the dough. And she just rolling in the bucks while she dating Chad. Hopefully it's not the first time you've heard this, but this is true. Okay. Let's continue.
You want proof? I'll show you proof. There's proof in the very thread that I was talking about earlier about all of the girls going through and just posting their conventionally attractive man who just so happened to be in the nerdy stuff. Look at this right here. Look at how sad this is. This man posted his selfie talking about how he needs his confidence boost. Somebody posted in the comments, man, you better go find it. On top of that, where's all of the black women who say they like nerdy black men? If it was true that you like nerdy black men, y'all should be running this man's DMs up. Look, even he knows what's up. In the name of all that is holy, y'all gotta stop lying to these men, okay? Just tell them the truth. Like, seriously, it's getting sad at this point.
And I'm glad that he is, and a shout out to him, Flat Top Chicken. It was an amazing video. He has a longer form video that he did after this one. It's amazing. I think you guys should go check it out. But he's right. You know, and like I said, it's tough to navigate these things if we didn't have these types of spaces. So I'm glad that I went to the quote unquote expert on this topic to bring it to you guys. And hopefully some of this information was new, you know, you guys can learn from it. But yeah, I think it was very necessary to cover this because I learned a lot. And I just don't like to see men being used, especially when there's so much information out there. And the same thing for women. I don't like to see women being used as well. If you can do things better, then you need to find, you know, content creators that will tell you the truth. Same thing for guys. I get backlash every time I try and tell men to level up in certain instances. And I get it, but it's necessary. Y'all know that it's coming from a place of love, and I'm not sitting there trying to shame you. It is what it is. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that video. I think it was amazing. So, hey, we got Jamaica Hale in the building. She said, that's why I say thick neck, because fat and thick aren't the same. Okay. Thick neck, I would say that's like a football player build, you know, a lineman or a defensive tackle or some shit. But I remember when Rihanna's lingerie line, Savage Fenty, came out. They were using these models, these fat, I guess, plus size men to model like their boxers and their robes. And she was doing that for a reason, you know, to, I guess, display all body types, body positivity. And when she showed those men, there were women in the comments like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We love a big guy. And I'm like, brother, you know, those applause are only going to last for a week. And I told men, don't get your asses comfortable. Do not sit there and go to that comment section on Shade Room and go listen to what these women saying. I love a fat guy. No. Go your ass to the gym and don't sit there and be lazy, because there's one thing that I learned in the black community, and I hate to say this, is that if you ever hear a black woman say that she doesn't have standards for a man's body type, that means that she doesn't have standards for herself. Because she don't want to be able to be held to a standard, because your ass ain't held to a standard. So if she get fat, who the hell are you to tell her to lose weight? Your ass fat and spilling over too. So when you hear women say that, that's what that means. So don't get comfortable in your fat ass skin, men, and listen to these women say that, because they want to make sure that they don't have to live up to a standard. And your woman says a lot about you. I'm going to just tell you that much. So if you scared to take your woman out in public because she chubby and your ass chubby, y'all look like 2 00s rolling down, you know what I'm saying, the street. Get your ass in the gym and get in shape, and stop being coddled by what these women saying or trying to, you know, trick you into being out of shape. No. Cooking you all this type of good food and shit, and you just putting on the pounds. Get your ass in that damn gym and stay competitive. Okay? I'm getting tired of that. Y'all, don't fall for that foolery, man. Lord have mercy. Let's see here. Some gang of comments. Okay. Marcus says, I was a single father. I had black women tell me they don't date men with children. He's grown and knows on his own now. Okay, cool. Skinny Boy said, Jamaica Hale, is your neck fat or thick? No, Pink Meek is in shape, brother. Low-key darkness, 20 years living. Damn, I have socks and drawers at age. Biggie says, I think he just used logic and common sense. Okay. Rod said, relationship or not, you got to keep gaining and maintaining. Absolutely. Let's see here. Dark Room says, question, are men in favor of a single mother or a widow not date until their children exit out of high school? Should they give up or time it right? I mean, in my opinion, it depends on the man. And like I said, I think, a lot of single mothers have a better chance of getting something serious if they get with the guy who already has children. I mean, is it because y'all and women, hopefully y'all listen to this. Any women who have kids, there's a saying in these spaces. And I hate to, should I even say this again and bring it up? Oh my goodness. They call single mothers pump and dump. And there's some other phrases out there for it as well. So they know that single mothers are having sex because you got buckaroos running around. So you didn't have sex before. So they tend to get with single mothers because they know they're having sex, right? And it's, and they don't have that much time because they have to take care of kids. So it's convenient. So when you do get some time with a single mother, you get a weekend alone, then you're going to get some good sex and you can send her ass back to them buckaroos. So women have to be mindful of that. And that's why I encourage single mothers, maybe be more open to guys who have children already, because the single men, they may end up using y'all. It's sad to say, but it's true. So let's see here. Andre said MF Doom. Okay. Jamaica Hill said, skinny boy, neither. My collarbone is very visible. Okay. Jonathan G said, at best, they'll take a square. Russell Wilson, good grades, doesn't get in trouble. Professors, etc. when they get older, though, and want stability more than excitement. Yeah, I get it. Ron, my man, thank you, brother, for breaking the drought. Ron says, 99 super chat. I always think of the actor Henry Cavill, Superman. When girls say they want a nerdy guy, he's openly talked about liking nerdy stuff, but the man is jacked and plays Superman. Yeah, it's so funny. That's what they talking to. That's what they talking about. Oh man. Sir Anthony said, yes, I'm in favor of single mothers waiting until the kids are graduated. Okay. Jamaica Hale says, I must have ignored the Pearly fan page. Did you attempt to smell my sit down air with no? What are y'all talking about? Who? Pearly Things fan page? What y'all talking about, man? Let me get up at it. Let's see. LJ499 super chat. No questions. Enjoying the show from the driving range. Absolutely. I'm being there tomorrow. Wait, what am I missing here? Jamaica, y'all letting that fan page stay with all the disrespect? Whose man's is it? What am I missing? Where is a fan page of Pearly Things? Man, what the hell? Get your ass out of here. What the hell going on? All right. Andre Golden said 499 super chat, said just dropping off some love. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. I think I got that. Yeah, what the hell? Get up at her. Okay. Dark Room said I forgot to add date to marry. That's the whole point of waiting, so that you won't be out here in the streets. You can focus on your children who need you the most. Yeah, and it's a great idea. So Mr. G. says smelling sit down here as well. Yeah, I passed right over that. Sit down there. That's funny. Yo, sit down there stink. Practice saying y'all wilding. Sit down air. That's funny. So let's get into this fitness conversation. And look, what am I? Let me see if I can play what my brother said. Hold on real quick. Hopefully y'all can hear this. I forgot to send it over, but I'm gonna play it from. Hold on, where was it? All right, so this is, and I'm gonna, if you guys can't hear what my brother is saying, I'm going to explain it to you. And this is one of the funniest things that we used to tell each other when we were younger in regards to lifting weights. Hold on, here we go. Shit. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I don't want the computer to turn off. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Here you go. So hopefully y'all can listen to this. Here we go.
Yeah, I remember. It used to be something like this. Lifting heavy, impress men. Looking good, impress girls. Men care about how much you can lift. Women care about how good you look.
Okay, did y'all hear that? So he used to say, because we both used to bodybuild, right? And sometimes when we would go to the gym, there would be guys that were definitely bigger than us, but they didn't look as good as us. Because bodybuilders, we tend to refine certain muscles. Powerlifters, they're more focused on how much they can lift, right? So he used to say that men care about how much you lift. A man will ask you, how much do you bench? Anybody that's ever been in the gym, how many times has a woman ever came up to you and asked you, how much do you bench? It rarely happens, right? But men will, and that's perfectly fine. All women care about is how you look. So that's why I asked the question. Hold on. I asked this on the community post. I said, question, can men or women tell that you work out? And the reason why I asked that is because typically when I post something about fitness, I'll get a lot of guys in the comment section saying, I work out 5 days a week or 6 days a week. I do MMA, I do, kickboxing or whatever it is. And I understand the aspect of gaining the skills, fighting skills, amazing. Being in shape, being healthy, amazing. However, when we're approaching these conversations from a dating aspect, if you working out 5 days a week doesn't amplify your standing on the dating market, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And I know a lot of people are going to look at that and say, well, yeah, the ultimate goal is to be in shape and stay healthy. I just acknowledge that. However, weightlifting and bodybuilding is a very egotistical, narcissistic sport. Yes. And I'm telling you that from a guy who has been in the gym for almost 20 years. It's a very selfish sport because the blame is solely on you. And I told you guys this before. When you compete for bodybuilding, yes, you may have trainers. You may have people who help you work out. You may have a dietitian doing your meals, right? You do all this stuff. You put in the work. You step on stage and you get 12th place. The only person that you can blame is yourself. Because for one, maybe you didn't work out hard enough. Or maybe your genetics are just subpar compared to the guys who won. Bodybuilding is a very humbling sport. However, on the dating market, if you want it to be used so you can get better outcomes as a man, then you need to make sure that women can see and know that you work out. And the way that you test this theory is typically from guys. And I know people are like, well, Paul, say that, brother. If you've been in the gym and you've been a muscular guy, you know for a fact that more guys will approach you and say, hey, man, big man, hey, you know what I'm saying? Save some weights for the both of us. It's not anything gay about it. It just is what it is. That's what happens. Because women typically don't approach guys and tell them that, hey, you know what I'm saying? You looking huge, brother. No, because women are more reserved. We're the ones who chase, right? Or we try to pursue women. So, and I'll say some women because there is a caveat to that. Most of the times when, the majority of comments that I've gotten in public from women it's either been from an older woman who knows that she may not have a chance with me, right? She's past her prime, older, and she's just trying to be respectful. Or you'll get overt compliments on your physique by chubby women, right? Because they like, I ain't got nothing to lose because I know that most guys aren't attracted to chubby women. So I'm going to come up to this muscular guy and be like, oh man, you big, you huge. When I was in New York, some girl called me brolic. I was like, that's funny. I had never heard brolic before. But yeah, she said I was brolic. But yeah, so it's a caveat to that. But most attractive women who may want to, link up with you, they're not going to come up to you and say, hey man, you looking huge. Can I get your number? Can I get your number? No, they don't do that. But they will get in your way in the gym. They'll make sure that you see them where they're working out, or they'll say something slick like, hey, are you using this machine even though your ass is doing chest and she asking you about a leg machine? Or she'll be like, hey, can you do you know if anybody is using this? Can you help me with this? Is this your weight? Some stupid shit like that. I've been in the gym long enough. I know all the tactics just so they can get in your way. And then once you get done working out, sometimes they'll even come sit by you when you're drinking your protein shake and they'll ask, hey, what kind of protein is that? I told you that's how I met my girl. I tease her about that all the time. But yeah, so that's why I tell guys this is a great thing that you work out 5 days a week. But if you're not doing anything to make sure that you're known, people will know that you work out, then, what's the point? In a dating aspect, health, I understand it. Don't get it twisted. Health is the number one priority. However, when I was young, it definitely was not. My number one priority when I started lifting weights when I was younger, back in 2005, was to get some size for myself. And then once I started seeing women start to notice it, and I started getting better dating outcomes, cheeks, then I started lifting weights for that. My brother used to call it motivation. We used to go to different Gold's gyms. We used to go to different Lifetime Fitnesses if the quote unquote motivation wasn't right. He would say, man, it ain't no motivation here. And you know what motivation means? Women. It's like, man, let's go to the other gym. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no motivation at that other gym. Let's go here and see if there's any motivation there. So that was our code word for women. Because if there's women in the gym, the better. And I know this has been taken to an extreme now because women are trying to videotape guys looking at them while they're wearing half-naked spandex with the stitching all up the asshole. Yeah. I know it's different now, but back in the day, yes, we used to literally hunt for different gyms that had the most girls. Okay. And that was the motivation for us to go to the gym. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and say, oh man, you shouldn't be lifting weights because of women. Absolutely not. Yes, that was one of the main reasons. And then when we start competing, we started to take it a little bit more serious. I need more rounder shoulders. I need some deeper abs. I need a better V-taper. I need some sweep on my quads. My calves need to come up, shit like that. But we still understood that we want to be more attractive to women. And that's why I try and tell you guys. Okay? So let me get somebody. Let me see here. Dante Bryant, get a couple of comments. I get the super chats. He said he's going to give us the Kai Green example. Kai Green, I told y'all. That's my guy. Let's see. A new guy, interracial natural hair movement taker. That's cool. Older females be like, I can call you sometimes. That's funny. Rod said, I think they use the word brolic to name Brawley. That MF was huge. Brawley. Okay. Young boy, $2 super set cheeks. Love the humor. Yeah, but back in the day, I wasn't playing. So, yeah, I knew what I was doing it for. Like shit, and that's why I told y'all for about the first 6 months, all I did was chest and biceps. That's all I knew how to do: bench press and biceps. When I start seeing some gains, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna continue doing this until somebody came up to me. It's like, hey man, why every time I see you in here, you doing chest and biceps. I'm trying to get big. And then he showed me, hey, you're supposed to do this, this, and this. And that's when I started to get serious about weightlifting, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, I was just going to make sure that I was more attractive to women. And that's perfectly fine to admit. I'm older now. I get it. You know, and I want to get to this other point here in a second. Here, let me show you this. This guy, he commented this. Look at this. This was under that post. He said, 2 hours plus in the gym is overkill crazy. And I'm going to tell you like this, brother. Me going 2 hours plus in the gym now at age 44 is actually light. Me and my brother was laughing about this when we first started lifting weights. We literally used to have 3-hour gym sessions because it was like a brotherhood camaraderie thing. We used to go to the gym for 3 hours, 10 days straight, no breaks, no nothing, because that's how driven we were when we started to understand how important this shit is. Yeah. So 2 hours plus in the gym now is actually an accomplishment for me because I'm still able to do that at the age of 44. And let me break this down for the people who don't understand why I spend 2+ hours in the gym. That's not all used on lifting weights. It used to be back in the day, but now that I'm older, let me explain to you how my workouts go, especially when I'm cutting. When I first go into the gym, I go straight to the treadmill and I walk for 30 minutes, right? So that's 30 minutes already taken off. I do some ankle stretches for my shin splints and my flat feet, and that takes all of like maybe 2 minutes, right? Some rolls, whatever it is. I hit those 30 minutes, and then I go straight to the weight area. What do I do at the weights? I grab some of the light weights, little dumbbells, about 12.5, right? And I'll stretch. I stretch for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that's including my 2 warm-up reps or sets. 20 to 30 minutes. I check everything. If I'm doing chest, I do the same stretching routine. I stretch my back, legs, arms, neck rolls, everything. And the reason why I do that is because I'm older. But I started to do that when I was young because I was told that, hey, it'll help you lift weights better and you won't get as sore if you stretch out before you lift. So it's just been a mainstay in my workout, before I started hitting some heavy weights. And that's where a lot of young guys fail. They'll go in there because you're young enough to maintain that, just start grabbing heavy ass weights and start throwing them around. But that's how you get injuries. Luckily enough for me, I haven't had any debilitating injuries from the gym. Right? And I thank God for that. But it has a lot to do with me being able to stretch. I told you guys that I have chiropractic treatment every Thursday, right? And they're always amazed at how big I am and how, flexible, pause, that I am, because I stretch out, thoroughly every day. So that's already 50 minutes. So then I get into my workout, which are my working sets. Whatever muscle groups I'm hitting, I hit those. Those take about an hour, maybe hour 15, something like that. It is what it is, 75 minutes. And then once I get done with the gym, I go sit down, I drink my shake, I eat my little protein bar, protein heavy, meal, whatever. And then I get my ass up out of there. All of that takes about 2 hours plus. So it's not me just sitting there working out and pushing weights for 2 hours straight. Absolutely not. I maintain myself. I take care of my body. I make sure, and I know we in this masculine space. The reason why a lot of guys, you'll see them when they start lifting weights, they get stretch marks, is because they don't moisturize. Yeah, I said it. I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm telling another grown-ass man to make sure that you moisturize so you won't get those stretch marks. That's what happens when your muscles expand. If you didn't know that, guys, your skin stretches. You don't get new skin. It just stretches. The body is an amazing thing. But the way that you, from a young age, the way that you try and, stop from getting those stretch marks is you have to moisturize. Okay? And I mean, you could be like, oh, man, I don't know what I signed up for. I'm trying to give you some jewels here. So when you do go out and about, you don't look kind of crazy. And you look different from the guys who do have, are cut up and they don't have those stretch marks. That's what you need to do. Okay? So just letting y'all know. Trying to help you out. Hopefully this helps. Let's see here. Oh, wait. Don Neal said, nope, that's just a New York word. Oh, brolic. Dante Bryan, $5 super chat. I was literally about to say we can do that in gyms anymore because of the liability. Yeah, man. And like I said, it was funny on that Gym Nation or Fail Nation page, one of my favorite Instagram pages. They had it was like a meme of Goku looking at the ground, and it was like some girl bent over right next to him, and he had his hand down and said, yes, the ground is the ground, or something like that, because he's not trying to look at the woman. And you guys have to be mindful of that. These women crazy out here, so half naked. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, cool. Mr. G Rev says, Shea Buddy. Yeah, y'all got to do something, man. And these are things that a lot of guys don't get. They don't understand. Like a girl that I was dating when I was stationed in Korea, she taught me how to properly use baby oil. I know y'all, that sounds funny. Y'all like, what? How you don't know how to use baby oil? I thought that when you got out the shower, you dry off, and then you put the baby oil on, right? And I remember one time after we had got done doing what we doing, she saw me dry off and grab baby oil and start putting it on my skin, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What you mean?" And she was like, "No, it's not how you're supposed to use baby oil. You're supposed to use it on moisturized skin." And she turned the bottle around. I read it, and I was like, "Well, shit." Well, I'll be damned. What do you know? Wet. Like I said, Mr. G, wet application. Pause. I didn't know. Sorry, guys. I didn't. She taught me. So, yeah. Oh, man. Jamaica says, I had a guy who didn't have a gym regimen try to tell me it only takes 5 minutes to stretch. It was in that moment I concluded I couldn't date a man without an active gym life. Yeah, it takes way longer than that. I'd call it a check engine test or whatever, because when I was younger, if I felt like a little, twinge or whatever in my elbow, I'll work through it. But if I'm younger or while I'm older, if I feel something different, I will walk my happy ass out of the gym and I will make an appointment at the doctor and be like, hey, something don't feel right. Back in the day, no. I was, very reckless, lifting so many days in a row and not taking breaks and shit like that. But it helped me, moving forward. So it's like, hey, man, I'm sorry, brother. Did I say too much? So, Project Lee was. I just probably said the more you know. Yeah. Well, shit. Don Pepe said out here looking like a Bengal tiger. And I'm not trying to shame them brothers, but I just see it all the time. And it's sometimes they can't help it because some dudes just let themselves go and they were chubby, and then when they lose weight, they may have some loose skin, or some stretch marks. I mean, it happens. It is what it is. So Rod said, yeah, I had to learn the hard way too. Trying to help y'all out. So Jojo said, you learn something new every day. Jamaica said, I just learned that right now. Okay, cool. So this help. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know how to use baby oil. So Dante Bryant, $2 super chat said, was this lady Korean or a veteran like it? So no, she's in the military. Yeah. See, when I bring stuff up, I start to remember things and I have to catch myself before I get my ass, hit with a pot or something. I don't know. So, oh, no problem. No problem. That true singer said the half instructions. Let's see here. Rebel Zoe says 30-minute stretching at least a warm down after. Yeah, man, I do it all. So see, Project Leader said, Media Man, we grew up on Vaseline, that good old petroleum. Yeah, man. Our moms used to slather that shit on us, you know. I love black mothers, man. You ain't gonna go out the house ashy. You know what I'm saying? When we going to somewhere, you know, nice, either the church, are we going to a restaurant? Yeah, you gonna be greased down. You know what I'm saying? So, as a kid. So, but if you out there playing, it is what it is. So, true as dude said, and this is why we appreciate you, my brother. Keep cooking. Thank you, brother. I'm glad I can help y'all. So, let's see here. Skinny Boy said, okay, take over. Wait, what I missed? Just trying to help y'all out. There you go, Rod. Cocoa butter or Vaseline. Yeah, you got to do something. And I told y'all before, and I'm going to keep telling y'all this. Hey, if you want to know about Glisten, some Glisten products, get your ass a black woman. Either you either date a black woman or you need to befriend black women. Because they're going to tell your asses the products that you need to get to make sure that you moisturize. You think this is me? That's why I'm shining now, because of her ass. So like a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Telling me how to put the shit on, go this way. I'm like, why I gotta put Glisten on this way? You know, because you don't want to get, you know, bumps. And I was like, okay, I listen. So she's sitting there in the mirror hooking me up. So I'm just sitting there like a little ass kid, get greased down with my big ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. You better get you a black woman to tell you what products do I need to make sure that I am moisturized and glistened. Get a black woman. They gonna make sure you good. Let's see here. It's like $5 Super Chat said you went all the way to Korea and was messing with the military chick. I've come back married to Hey Young and driving a Kia. Oh man, that's like. And I told you I was in Kunsan. Kunsan and the Air Force got some of the most beautiful women in the world. I stand on that. Just think it. Let me stop. Mona D said, I have a 9-year-old daughter. Help me stretch out so that she walks on my muscles for like 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, kids are the best. And they think it's a game. While you sitting there enjoying yourself, you know, you lay on the ground and you let them little ass feet stomp your back. Oh, yeah, they love that. So, yeah, and I think only parents understand that because my daughter used to do that. So they think it's a game. So let's see. Marcus is shine on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. So that's why I'm glistening up here. So. Oh, man. Let's see. Rebel says, I have 8 nieces and they tell Unc every time. They tell Unc every time they see me to lotion up. Okay. Motor D said, that's right. No crack / ashy skin. Yeah, you don't want that. In the same way, black women will teach your ass what products you need to buy. They will roast your ass for being ashy. Look at your ashy ass. I told y'all, hey, we, you know, maybe some, you know, contentious times in the black community, but it ain't nobody like a black woman to roast your ass. Oh, you go get it. You see? Funniest thing, you gonna get your ass cooked. Jamaica said, I love making sure a man is good. It's honestly a great joy. I bet she was happy to rub you down. Oh, yeah. It's yeah, all that stuff. And like I said, I'd be just sitting there, shoulder slump, getting rubbed down. Yo, choose dude. How do you spell Kunsan? Kunsan. Kusan. Kunsan. See, but made me say a cuss word. That true singer said, y'all trying to get Media Man in trouble. Yeah, I'm have to start thinking back. Motor D says, my sons are 12 and I have them set up with their own hygiene, says skincare products And yes, I blaze them if they try to walk out looking dry, says ashy. Mama don't play that. yeah, black moms don't play that. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught being ashy going out the house, you go get in trouble. Why the hell you go out the house ashy? Now people gonna think that I don't raise you. It's like, so ashy look like you went swimming at St. Helens. I live and watch this thing. But thank you, Andre, breaking that drought. 199 Super Chat said Air Force and Marines have a fitness requirement. I mean, I think all do, but for some odd reason, the Air Force just compiles some of the most beautiful women, you know. And like I said, I may be a little biased because I'm retired Air Force, but I mean, that's why when I seen, you know, we did the rankings or whatever, and the military chick was in there, my first mind went back to the beautiful women in the Air Force. And that's why I was like, well, they would be wifey material, but I know the stigma that military women get. But I will say this. Some of the best mothers and single mothers I've ever seen were actually in the military, in the Air Force. Won't even lie. Because they have to prioritize. And I don't know, honestly, I didn't know how they did it. Because they were sometimes on the same deployment schedules as we were, but they had to make sure that their kids were taken care of while they did, you know, went to work, PT, extra hours, long hours. When you keep your kids at the Child Development Center on the, you know, I'm just going off of the Air Force, sometimes you have to stay at work late, and they have to extend the hours, you know, just to accommodate the mothers, the single mothers that are out there, or the mothers who are married because they may be married to another service, you know, another service member. So I used to see these women work long hours, and the kids were always very smart, very well behaved. Maybe that's just an Air Force thing, but it was rare that you seen like a quote unquote deadbeat mom in the military, because they had to. I guess they were so passionate about serving, they took care of their children. Like, man, I dated a couple of women that had children in the military, and the kids were so well behaved, and they had great, you know, I guess interactions with the dad and all that stuff. So, yeah, shout out to those military moms, man. I mean, like I said, again, it may be biased because I mean I love the Air Force so much, but so shout out to those military moms. Let's see here. Intellect said not Marines. They walked around looking like Trunchbull from Matilda. Mona D said, hey, Jamaica, help you, and happy birthday to your big boy. Oh, okay. Happy birthday. My sons are reminding me of how they're approaching 13 next year. Uh-oh, I'm not ready. Andre says family care plans. Yeah, in the Army. Yeah, man. It was a lot. Rebel Zoe said, my son reads a lot in 6'1", and I told him the Air Force will be the best for him. And of course, I'm always say that. But sometimes even other branches, they'll say, I should have joined the Air Force. But no, I think that you made the right decision. But when you start comparing, then you start, you know, it may turn into hate, because the Air Force, of course, gets a lot of hate because people tend to say we get it better. In some instances, we do, because pilots are high priority. And if you support pilots, then you're going to get high priority. We have standards for the dormitories and certain, you know, hotels, Air Force, they aren't Air Force approved. So we can't stay there. You know, the only time that we would stay at maybe subpar like dormitories was when we were training with the Army or something like that. It's not a slight. It just is what it is. And most of the time, me being in, you know, special operations element, we didn't get the amenities that the normal Air Force folks did. But when I'm going on Air Force deployments or training, hell yeah, we staying at some great hotels. You know, so it is what it is. Let's see here. Andre said, I love Air Forces. Their promotions are a lot slower than the Army. Yeah, it is. And they got rid of testing, I believe, in the Air Force now. I learned from TikTok that the Marines, they don't test. You don't have to test for rank. It's all off of like performance. If there's any Marines in there, you probably could explain better. But there's a sergeant major who's currently serving. He has his own TikTok page, and he actually explained how Marines get promoted. And I didn't know that. I thought every other branch tested until I started branching out. Maybe my 8th year in the military, I was like, oh, well, y'all don't have to test for rank? Like, what? So, yeah. So, it's like I said, and being ex-Air Force myself, of course, I tell him, yeah. So, Rodney does say Air Force here. Other branches just hate the fact we stay in 5-star hotel building. Yeah. And Rodney, hey, they talk all they want. I'm not apologizing for shit. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I told you I did a year in Africa, went to 12 different countries. There was one particular place where I was at this base while deployed. Well, we called it a base. It was simply because we were supporting, like, the third world areas of these African cities in these particular countries. So we had to be close to where those people were so we can give them adequate medical treatment, right? But the Air Force understood that these places were subpar for us to stay. So you know what the Air Force did? They bought out this particular hotel for like maybe $5 million for us to use it for the time that we were out there so that we could make it up to Air Force standards. No lie. I could show you pictures of it. They bought a hotel out for the whole time that we were there. That's how important Air Force standards are. Yes, that happened. Trace says 49 Super Chat said, I'm mad to join the Space Force to get the VA benefits. I'm 36. Space Force is good. I mean, it's a good way to get in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's smart, intellectual people. It's just, our Space Command has branched off. So Air Force Space Command. Roger Spice said, in the Air Force, you can request your chief to leave you alone when reprimanded. Gen Z complains too much. That may be new because I don't remember that. See here, Dante Bryan too. Our super chat said, "Damn, yeah." Rodney said, "I love to hear the hoorah in the morning while I'm eating my continental breakfast in my bed, and the staff is dropping fresh towels." Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, and I told y'all some of the most professional schools, training schools that I've been to were actually in the Army. Fort Benning Airborne School was one of the most the best well-ran schools that I've ever been to in the military. The Army does an amazing job with their training because it's no BS. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you need to do this, this, and this, PT. You know what I'm saying? It was the best. The Air Force is great as well. So let's see. Rodney said, no lie. My boy was deployed in Africa and his wife stayed with him the whole time. That's funny. Oh, we didn't have that luxury. What else did I have here? I shared this. Wait, did I say this? I got that one. What was that other one? Oh, and I was asking the guys, what is your current fitness level percentage? And I told you guys that there's literally only 28. Let's see, the percentage of adults who met both physical activity guidelines was higher among men, 28.3%, than women, 20.4%, and decreased with age for both men and women. So as you guys can see here, for Hispanic men, 23.5% were less likely to meet both. And then for Black men, we actually came in, what is that? Where's Black men? We were third. We were three out of four. So at first you have Asian men, 30.2%. Then you have white men, 30.5%. And then Black men, 29.7%. And 23.5% Hispanic men. So that's why I was asking you guys, are you in the top 5% or the 28.3%? And most people, when I stopped the vote at 327, they said that they are in that 28.3%. 27% said I'm at the bottom, 71.7%, and 24% said I'm in the top 5%. of men in regards to physical health. So yeah, so it's very rare for men to be in shape. And that's why I harp on this so much, to tell you guys to get your asses in the gym or lose some weight. You got to do it for yourselves. And also, if you're having a tough time on the dating market, let's say that you have all the other components. You over 6 feet, you make a adequate salary, you know what I'm saying? You got your car, you got your house, but your ass out of shape and you don't have any medical issues. Me personally, I don't think that there's an excuse. Because if you're gonna sit there and try and justify why you don't have enough time, but your ass got enough time to sit at that damn table and eat 2 Whoppers. All right. And then women, your asses ain't absolved from this as well. Because women love this, getting big and blaming it on the BMI and my hair. I don't want to sweat it out. But if you are, especially a younger woman that don't have kids and you out of shape, it's a problem. I'm looking at you different. Where are your priorities, ma'am? And don't give me that excuse of body positivity BS. We don't do that here. Get your ass in that damn gym. If you ain't got no health issues, it's genetic. Everybody in my family, they all overweight. Well, you need to be the one to break that cycle or to break that generational curse. How about that? Don't blame it on your genetic disposition. If you have a hard time losing weight, guess what? You got to work harder. Okay? Don't tell me that you can't lose weight. Nah, if I tell you to send me a video of the shit that you got in your cabinets or in your pantry, it's gonna be all kinds of chips and ho-hos and honey buns, whatever the hell is what y'all like, hot Cheetos. And I bet not ever see no soda in there. Yeah. Don't get me get back to my training. I used to tell people, send me, say, let's FaceTime real quick before they get a chance to, throw away or hide the shit that they got in their damn refrigerator and in that damn pantry. I will tell them, turn the video around and let me see what you got in your damn cabinets. And it is sure enough, 99.9% of them had all kinds of unhealthy shit. And I told them to get rid of it. Yeah, throw it away and go your ass to the damn store and get some shit that you're supposed to be eating. That's the problem right there. I know. Senor G said, we got the finest ladies, med group, anyone. Oh, yeah, med group, hands down. It's nothing touching Air Force med group. Maybe because I was there, but I was thriving as a young LT in their areas. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, brother, Air Force. It has to be some type of standard for the Air Force women. Like, man, if you ain't attractive, you ain't getting in. So, Rebel, I live and sprint twice a week. Sprinting has done wonders for my workouts. Yeah, and I'm spending a lot of time on this health shit, because we talk about this a lot. So, see here, Andre said obesity runs in the family. The only thing that runs, see, Mr. G, big backs run in the family, man. Big backs run in the family. Yeah, I know the game. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I know how you ain't gonna get no excuses over here, man. I'm gonna wake y'all asses up and do a whole stream about David Goggins cussing y'all asses out. Don't have me do a stream with David Goggins. You know what I'm saying? And grab some of his videos. I told you his books are 2 of my favorites. And I'm gonna motivate y'all asses, like it or not. I'm gonna shame y'all asses into it. Let me get some David Goggins in here. So get your fat ass up. Let me show Victor some love here. My guy Victor from the gym. So that's him. And this is just me showing you the picture of Victor, 75 years old, man, still in the gym. He had to stop your boy, and tell me like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You still swelled. So pause. But it's the type of interactions that I get. And sometimes we have to be a little bit more open. I know I'm guilty of this. I'll get caught up in my own element and you either keep my head down or I'm looking up trying to catch my breath. And Victor was trying to flag me down for like maybe 5 minutes, but I was doing my curls and he was on the other side, and I'm looking down and I'm drinking my water, trying to catch my breath. And finally I seen his hand, like doing like this. And I looked up, and that's when he, old folks like to talk. So I gave him a good 10 minutes, just to sit there and talk to him. And he was just telling me or whatever, hey, this is what it is. Working out for 75 years. I'm originally from Detroit, so on and so forth. And like I told somebody in the comments, he has on a Kango. And he said that he was the one that showed Samuel Jackson how to wear his. Like it was a little joke or whatever. But yeah, man, we see those guys in the gym all the time. And I respect those older folks and the people who are, out of shape and they're in the gym. I don't like when people shame people who are out of shape while they're in the gym. I mean, obviously they're trying to work out. So yeah, so I'm going to do what I can to help out. If they have questions, I'm always open, to conversation. So, and guys, if you are a muscular or in shape guy, make sure you do that, man. Do yourself a service and don't be in your own element. And again, I was guilty of this before, but just leave yourself open to questions because some people may need it. They may need the motivation to stay consistent. Okay. Let's see. Mr. Tober said, Father Suja said San Diego was discovered by the Germans in 1903. Hey, that's why I love Ron Burgundy, man. I love it. Discovered by the Germans. A whale's vagina. Am I gonna get flagged for that? Okay. So I'll let y'all let me know what you want. You want me to play a narcissistic video or this compilation of dating videos that I have real quick? Matter of fact, we're going to do the dating. This is a fun show. So I'll keep the heavy stuff since it's a Friday for last. But we're going to play this dating compilation video. My goodness. And ladies, I see that Pick Meek is in here. We got Mona in here. When y'all go to y'all platforms, I'm begging y'all. Y'all got to talk to y'all ladies because this is becoming repetitive. This non-communication foolery. And y'all gonna see what I'm talking about here in a second. Here we go. From one of my favorite shows again.
Deal breaker, you have to have open communication. If you don't have open communication, you can't be trustworthy, then it's a deal breaker.
So she said one of her deal breakers is open communication. If you can't communicate, then that's a red flag for her. It's a deal breaker. Did y'all hear that? Let's continue.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we did get a pop balloon over here.
Yes.
So let's go on over here. If we can have your
sir.
name and age.
My name is Kim. I'm 27. What's up, Tyra? How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, so I popped the balloon because honestly, like I was supposed to go to lunch with her like last week, but she ain't hit your boy back. So I'm.
Let's rewind that back.
Yeah, so I popped the balloon because honestly, like I was supposed to go to lunch with her like last week, but she ain't hit your boy back. So I mean.
How you gonna get your hot pink dress wearing ass up there and say that communication is key, and you gonna leave this dude on red? You can't make this shit up. Kevin Samuel said it the best. Lord have mercy.
I mean, like on to the next. Like, but she's like a winner. Like she cool. We've been knowing each other. She cool. You know what I mean? But that's why. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So,
That's what I'm talking about.
Tyra,
Yeah.
why did you hit him back? What's going on?
Honestly, it was a busy day.
Oh my God. Ladies, can y'all stop using that damn excuse? Oh, it was a busy day. You can't text a man back. You ain't got enough time to text a man back. Women always got their phones on. Come on. This is the same damn show that I had to do that video on with the same excuse from these women. If you don't like them, just tell them that. It's about it was a busy day. And listen to her reasons. Wait, hold on. We not done.
And as you know, I have a job and a business. So the communication wasn't there. And
I was gonna say that too.
Exactly.
You said it was communication.
The communication wasn't there.
You ain't even hit your boy back.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like
it's all good.
So did you hear what she said when he was explaining to her, probably, making her take accountability? She was about to say, but I didn't feel like there was a connection there. Again, you could have just told him that. Instead of sitting there lying and saying that you was busy because you got a job in the business. Thank you, adult. Jesus Christ. And what is this foolery? Listen, hold on, wait. Go back.
Said it was communication.
The communication wasn't there.
You ain't even hit your boy back.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like...
It's all good.
You see that? But I didn't feel like... Y'all gotta... Lord, this is the worst. Here we go.
Yeah.
We still cool though.
We still cool though,
Probably,
regardless. Yeah, I still support it, no matter what.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so she got all of her balloons popped because she just basically lied. Talking about communication is key, and you didn't communicate with him. What kind of mess is that? So I'm just asking, ladies. The jig is up. Brothers know that. Hey, if there's no, like I said in the last live show or the video that I did. No answer is an answer, brothers. Okay? So if you sitting there trying to connect with her, sending texts back to back, let me know when you're free. No reply. I was asleep. It was a long day. I was at work. I didn't have time to respond to your text. That's an answer. Block that woman's number and move on. Just like this man did. Watch this on the heels of that video. This is a great scenario for you guys. And ladies, y'all pay attention to this. I want you to give her advice. Here we go.
So I literally met the love of my life this weekend and got cut off by him before the weekend even ended. And I'm devastated and heartbroken.
Can y'all hear that? Put a one in the chat if you can hear it. It's kind of low on my end. I can hear it, but I want to make sure y'all get, hey, we got Theo. Theo, my God, Theo Do Better podcast. Hold on, let me bring that up. My bad. I didn't even see that. With the $20 bomb on you, boy. What's going on, brother? He said, what up, though, Mavs in 6? I hope. I can't have the Celtics having another championship over the Lakers. But, yeah, man, welcome back, brother. Man, I got to catch the live stream. Good to see you back, man. I had to check on you. I didn't see any uploads, so I was like, oh, okay, you good. We back rolling. Thank you, brother. Got Theo in the building. Make sure you put your links in the chat. Mona, if you're still here, hook Theo up. Y'all can hear it? Let me see it. 111 low, but it's low, but can you hear it? She recorded it low, but we're gonna work with it. Hopefully you can hear it. And I'll explain something a little further. So she said she met the love of her life. Let's continue with the story. Here we go.
So Friday I went to a happy hour and I'm starving, so I'm just like scarfing down my food. I don't notice a guy come sit down next to me. So he's sitting down, I hear him talking, I look over to see the most beautiful man I've ever seen. On a 1 to 10 scale, this man was a 20, he was gorgeous. So he starts talking to me and he's like, can I get you a drink? Of course. So he gets me a drink, we're laughing, we're talking, and I'm like, oh, I have to run to the mall before they close, like, nice to meet you. He's like, oh, I'll come with you. Comes to the mall with me. Afterwards, he's like, I'm going out tonight with my friends, I really want you to pull up. Of course.
Everything is going fine. And I told you guys, when a woman likes you, you don't have to wait them 3 days to send her a text or some foolery like that. No. If she liked you, she liked you. You can call that woman any day, but she effed up. And y'all gonna hear what I'm talking about. Here we go.
But that doesn't happen. I come home, I shower, I fall asleep, I completely forget all about it. So the next day, he's like, hey, missed you last night. Can I take you to brunch today? Again, of course. So I meet him for brunch and he's like, oh, what are you doing today? I tell him I have to run an errand and then I have some friends coming in town tonight. I'm hanging out with them. He's like, oh, can I see you after your errand? I want to spend the day with you. The adult thing would have been like, no, I'm sorry. Like, let's do tomorrow, something. But again, he was gorgeous and I'm weak. And I was like, of course.
Did you hear what she said? And I have to say this again, attraction. She was attracted to him. So she was considering it, but she just made some missteps, which is crazy. Here we go.
for the day with me. So I start running my errand, and I tell him like, hey, this is taking a really long time. I'm really sorry. And he's like, oh, no problem. Just hit me up when you free up. I never freed up. Never hit him back. Never contacted him again. Went out with my friend, stayed out all night, went out again the next morning. Like, I was just outside. So I text him Sunday night, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, oh, just getting ready for the week. You? And he was like, he actually didn't even respond. He just liked the message. So I was like, ... good talk. We good? And he said something really snarky, like related to me not hitting him back. My hair is a mess. Related to me like not hitting him back. And I was just like, I'm sorry. Are you mad? And he was like, no, I'm good. I've not heard from this man since.
Good. Good. You shouldn't hear back from that man. He tried to link up maybe 3-4 times, and your ass didn't even respond back. And then why is he acting clueless that he has an attitude? This is the same thing that happened with the other 2 women. You responded to me like you had attitude. I mean, you think if I'm sending you texts and I'm telling you that, hey, I'm trying to link up, and you're not responding, and you out and about in them streets, don't you think that he has a right to have attitude? Like, where are these women? Lord.
And it's like, first of all, Judge Judy, relax. We're strangers. Like, I get it, but it's...
Hey, I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but I have to. I told y'all asses, guys, these women ain't looking for marriage. That's the first 2 women from the show that we reviewed. They said the same thing. They had to remind the men that they are single. She just reminded this guy that I am single. They're not trying to get married. Women will remind y'all asses that they still single. So why don't y'all go approach the dating market the same way? They ain't trying to commit to y'all. They're trying to fit you into their program. And you don't want to be fit into their program. So if it's not working, leave her ass alone. But they tell you straight up, we ain't married.
Never that serious. Other part of me is like, babe, I've never been in love like this. Please don't let us end this way. And I'm like, do I take my L and keep it pushing? Or do I blow his phone up? Like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, this is going to be good. This next one's going to be good. But no, but that's the same scenario in this show, man. And they did have I seen one video recently where they had a success story on the Balloon Pop show. Arlette. She, the show was very entertaining, but most of the women, it seems like they're not on there for anything serious. But the guys, they are very clear cut. Like, yeah, I'm looking for, a partner. I'm ready to settle down. But the women are just like, man, I'm not trying to, get into nothing serious. And it gives you a kind of a backstage pass in regards to what's going on in the dating market. Because when some of these women get on these panel shows and they get to talking, they make it seem like these women are marriage minded. They're not. Absolutely not. And it's kind of funny because it all plays out on shows like this. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, man, y'all got to watch these women, man. And just to tell the guys, if they don't respond to you, man, that's a response. Move on. She don't like you like that. And me personally, I don't know why a woman would play games with a guy like that. You just giving out your number willy-nilly and you don't have no intentions of getting with the guy. I don't understand that process. And don't give me that I'm scared that he was going to do something to me. That rarely happens. I know it happens to them dudes that be catcalling women on the streets. I know that. Women have a right to be concerned. But if it's a guy that you thought was attractive and then you found another option and you like, I just don't like him, just tell him. Or ghost him. It is what it is. You don't really owe him nothing. Let him go because he's going to keep asking you. But if he's a smart guy like that dude, he's just going to stop replying. And hopefully he doesn't, spin the block and try and, hey, let me make it up to you. And then you end up taking this woman out of the date and you end up paying. No, if she want to make it up to you, hey, I'm not, if you really want to hang out with me, I'm not going anywhere. I'm chilling at the house. You can come over if you like. That's how you make it up. And if she got a problem with that, cut that. I was trying to cut her off. You know what I'm saying? And try your luck next time. So, yeah, so it is what it is. Oh man. Let me see. Let me see if I'm missing these super chats. Mr. G Rap 499 super chat said, Media Man, I'm having my grand opening car meet for my auto spa in Brookshire tomorrow. You should pull up. White Glove Auto Spa. Really? Well, shit. It ain't raining here, Mr. G Rap. Got it. Oh, no, let me text it to my girl. Hold on. I use the phone like I'm old because I'm old now. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Okay. All right. If it's no raining and we good, I'm coming out, brother. And I got a tip. So thank you, brother. I got you. Let's see here. Mr. Tover $5 super chat said, oh, God, that was funny. Cool. It said 50% of chance of rain in the morning. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, you get my my challenger right, brother. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, hey, gotta have Black Beauty looking right. Educate Tyrone said, Media Man, the freshest dude in the retirement home. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be cold. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll need it. My active years. Let's see here. Tote GA 007 said, I have seen this video before by Flat Top Chicken, and it is awesome and on point, conventional category, but I still consider myself a super nerd. Okay. Oh, thank you, Theo. Appreciate it. Hit that like button. Thank y'all, and thank you for hooking up the super chats. Appreciate that, good brother. And Jay Willie says, I'm a little behind on the live stream. If he's the love of her life, which is laughable, then she should have respected his time and effort. She thought she could keep him on the hook as an option. Yeah, man, and I'm good to see guys waking up. You know, that's why we need these spaces. You know, this is good information. And that's why a lot of women hate it. You know, they take away the podcast equipment. You know, like, yeah, the reason why is because men are getting hip to the games. Like, and it's good. It's a good thing. So it's good for your mental health. Now this next video, and it's quick. I didn't use the whole video because I'm glad that another woman responded to it, because I've seen this woman right here. This video has been making its rounds. My friend, the top lady, he sent this video to me, and it's this Black woman who's an actress. She's explaining her issues with dating in LA. And I've been telling Black women, like, y'all will take y'all happy asses to one of the capitals of interracial dating, which is LA. Y'all will go overseas, go to these different countries, and expect the small percentage of Black men to date y'all asses, when damn near the whole country is open to dating outside of their race. But y'all. And then you will complain about Black men and their dating preferences when everybody is interracially dating. Even Black women are trying to interracially date. And I have videos on this because Black women never ask Black men why. Y'all never ask Black men, why are you dating outside of your race? And why are you not trying to marry Black women? Y'all just sit there and use shaming language, something about they hate their moms. No, ain't got shit to do with that. Ask them. They've been telling you on these damn podcasts for years. But y'all want to keep running around saying that y'all, hate your moms and all this type of foolery. But listen to this. Here we go.
We went to an event and there were about 1,000 people there. And of the couples that were there, about 95% of them were Black men with non-Black women. The person leading the event was a Black man that was married to a white woman. I'd be lying if I said that seeing all of this at the same time was not triggering. This is pretty much what the dating scene looks like overall in LA. I've said it before.
Let me stop right there. Why are you focused on what Black men are doing? Ma'am. Date. Go out there and find you an Enrique or something like that. You in LA. That is literally one of I mean, I have stats on this. One of the most, accepting interracial cities that there is in the United States. And you sitting there focused on black men and what they're doing? Why? Focus on what you're doing and go get your ass on the dating market and date. What the hell's going on? What's wrong? Here we go. But listen.
Before, I'll say it again, I think you are allowed to have whatever dating preferences you want. However, simultaneously, this is not the first black woman we've seen complaining that black men aren't dating black women. They're preferring non-black women. So if I were a black woman, I would want to know why exactly this is. I would want to sit down with some black men and ask them specifically, what is it about black women you're not as interested in, or what is it about non-black women you are interested in, and maybe use it as some cause for self-reflection. But all I ever
right? I mean, that would only make sense. Ask the black men. Instead of sitting there trying to blame and complain about it, ask them. Jesus, it could all be so simple. Oh, Lauryn Hill. All right, let's go.
See these black women do talking about the issue is complaining about it and hating on black men for having preferences.
It is that simple, and I just don't understand the logic in the way some black women think. The women who are like this, because on one hand you hear black women complaining that black men date outside their race, but then on the other hand you have a subset of black women that are saying that they prefer other races of men. How can those two coexist? So it's either or. But the statistics show that black women are the least likely to marry outside of their race, especially with white men. So I get that you're upset that you're not getting the dating and marriage preferences are the options that black men have, but you can't blame black men for that. You have to look internally and ask yourselves, well, maybe we may be doing something wrong, and we need to ask these black men, what do we need to improve? But no, black women won't do that for some odd reason. And it is always confusing to me because, and I've explained this before, it's like when you go to a grocery store and y'all went down the cereal aisle, right? When you go down the cereal aisle, they got all these bright colors of cereal boxes, and they do that for kids because they want to appeal to kids. When kids see a bright ass, a cockatoo or some shit on a Fruit Loops box, they can be like, "Oh, mom, I want that," and it makes the parents buy the kids the cereal box. So they all bright. But let's say that you was going down the cereal box aisle, and you look down at the very bottom shelf, and you see this cereal box that's just black. It has no coloring, no nothing, no advertisement, no cartoon, nothing. It's just a black box sitting right there, right? That box stays there for years and years. Nobody buys it. So the company goes back when they have their meeting and like, hey, man, why is nobody buying my black box cereal? What do we need to do? That company will sit there and say, it's everybody else's fault. They don't see how good we are, so it's all y'all's fault that y'all ain't buying our black box cereal. Instead of asking, well, maybe we need to spice it up a bit and put some advertising on it. Maybe at least tell them what the box has in it, show them a picture of it. Maybe we need to improve our marketing strategy instead of blaming everybody else that shops at this market. That's how black women approach the dating market. It's not our fault. It's all y'all's fault. Even though all the statistics show that black women are the least married and the most divorced, y'all will sit y'all happy asses there and blame everybody for not seeing the beauty in y'all black boxes. Does that make any sense? No. Okay, and I hate to use that example because I know the young kids use box as a euphemism for vagina. But I didn't try to marry the two. But y'all know what I'm talking about. It's insane to me that you could just blame everybody else for not seeing the beauty. And I hate to laugh, but it's just, I don't know how the, let me stop, man, before I get my ass in trouble. It's just funny to me, man, because it should be simple logic. Like, God, dog, if nobody ain't buying the product, then something may be wrong. Like, God, it can't be everybody else, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have used that because I know people box. You see what he did there? No, I didn't try to do that. As I'm starting to learn about Black women, more two things can be true at the same time. Yeah, it's up, man. I'm not trying to, shame or anything like that, but I'm like, this would be good information. This is great insight. Why would you not want to talk to Black men and ask them truthfully, like, hey, man, do we need to change? Just sit down and stop coming into it in bad faith. Talking about they hate their moms. Like, oh, your mom fat and Black, so why you with that light-skinned girl? Why? It's the stupidest thing ever. If your mom look a certain way, but you don't date the type of women that look like your mother, then that means that you hate your mom. It's fun. I'm laughing, but it's sad, man. It's sad. See, without you. I didn't mean to use box, man. Oh, man. Jamaica says, I think the Black mama, a good argument, though. I stayed asking my daddy, what did he like in my mama? No, it's good, but I'm saying telling Black men that you are relegated to just dating women who look like their moms, that's insane. That's the stupidest thing ever. It's because your mom look a certain way, you got to date women that look just like her. Like, that's kind of perverse. I don't know. Definite G box sissy, man. I knew it would start, man. My bad. Trey said, folks been saying box for 20 years, medium. Oh, well, for 20 years I was in the military, so I must have missed that. Box. Ron's at the Black box. Jesus. See, man, come on, man. I shouldn't have used that, man. Oh, man. Curtis Rose, 499 Super Chat said, I did know where that analogy was going, but I'm glad it ended the way you did. Jesus. Didn't. Oh, okay. It's Christy said, practically, well, honestly, I don't think they want either. They want to be told that what they have is going, that they have going is working when it's not. Yeah, and that's my thing is, Christy, is that, and that's why I hate those guys who pander. Like, brother, you sending them on dummy missions. You cannot continue telling Black women that they're doing nothing wrong, and then they come back with the same results. Nothing. You cannot do that. And I think that's more hurtful to Black women than anything. If you sending them out there saying that, yeah, they're going to love you for any size that you are, your attitude is fine, don't lower your standards, wait for that $200,000 guy, even though you got 3 kids running around, it's all their fault. And on my platform, I think we've been very honest about, men and where we need to improve. I've done multiple shows, even cited books from Tavis Smiley in regards to the 10 ways the Black community can improve. And I put the emphasis on Black men and where we need to improve. We have no problem with pointing out our flaws, but we cannot be the only ones doing that. And that's why a lot of Black men are so hesitant and they get offended when I do try and, hold Black men accountable, because they're like, hey, man, we can't be the only ones doing the work. So now we got Black women telling us we trash, and now we got medium men bringing up all of our faults and trying to hold us accountable. Where does it end? And honestly, I get it. And that's why you don't see a lot of men trying to speak directly to men, because it's like, man, we the only ones doing the work. So, I mean, I definitely understand it. And I know that I'm going to receive pushback when I bring up the income statistics in regards to all the other races of men. When I talk about black men improving their health and focusing on, making sure we continue lowering the crime rates, so on and so forth. I know that I'm going to get pushback because of those particular reasons that I just mentioned. It seems like black men are the only ones that's willing to listen to criticism, but black women aren't. And that's the problem. I mean, it's got to be, both sides. Dante Bryant Super Chat said, is this because black women want to control how black men move because they think they own us? It's okay for the few black women who can interracially date, but black men should be obligated to fill in the spaces. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like, we just had that little $1 million baby challenge or whatever, where the black women were upgrading their white husbands to be black men. and they cheered that shit on. They had their little moment. Goodness, and see all these white men marrying black women. And I'm like, yeah, y'all done seen maybe 100 videos. Y'all was happy. Now all of a sudden, right after that, or either before or after the NFL draft comes around, and you see all these high-priced ass NFL players with white women. And now it's back to black men being colorists. When y'all just had a whole damn month of black women making their white husbands wear Kangos and shit and Jordans. So oh man. Ken Ward, what's going on? Said they be like, I'm gonna tell you, you not gonna tell me what to do. I'm like, brother, it can't be just black men out here willing to have the conversation. Like, sheesh. Young boy, $5 Super just said, that's a simple yet spot on analogy. I might have to use it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's simple. Like, God, dog. Project Leroy, $5 Super Chat said, media man, they know how to get feedback other than self-reflection. They have performance reviews at their jobs, so they can't say they don't know how. Yeah, man. Yeah, the jobs, you know what I'm saying? They tell you how you doing. You need to improve here, improve there. But in order to, receive that feedback, they have to value the person who's giving the feedback first. And as we all notice that, a significant amount of black women don't value a black man's presence because everything that they think black men are is based off of a lie. And that's been my sticking point when I discuss these conversations. Black women think the worst of black men because they were told the worst about black men and has been ingrained over the past 50, 60 years. So now when you get somebody like me who brings up the statistics and say, hey, no, sister, no, black men don't have a better chance of going to jail than in college. There are not more black men in college or in jail than in college. No, sister, y'all don't make more than black men. No, sister, y'all don't own more businesses than black men. They're like, you lying. Because what we were taught to believe is that we're doing better in these particular categories because these pandering ass, hoe ass dudes that's on social media tell us so. And we like what they're saying, so we believe them. And that's where the problem is. We won't get anywhere unless black women accept the truth about black men, that we're excelling. But as long as we have those dudes that feed black women the messages that they want to hear, we won't get anywhere. And that's why I don't like those types of men. Don't mask it as you trying to uplift black women because you think that they're getting so much pushback in these spaces. Ask yourself, is it for good reason? That's the question that you need to answer. Instead of saying that all I see is black men talking about black women, stop, sit back, and listen to what they're saying, and then ask yourself, is it true? If it's true, then shut the fuck up and stop lying to them. That shit pisses me off. Don't sit there and try and say that I'm trying to uplift my sisters. Uplift them from what? The foolery? And you haven't addressed that yet? Address that first. Y'all dumbasses, man. I hate dudes like that. Because y'all sending these black women off something bad. And it's unfortunate they don't even see it. Lord. Definite G, $5 super just said black women just want black men to just deal with their mess and not complain about it. It's sad, man. It's embarrassing. I'm not even gonna lie to you because I sit here and champion black women all the time, but I won't accept that foolery. I don't accept it from black men as well. I don't accept it from myself. I done told y'all all my flaws. You know what I'm saying? And I still got a gang of them left. But damn, at least I'm willing to address them and do something about it and not blame the whole world. That would be a narcissistic trait, which is why we're here. So that's what we're going to talk about. They get the super chats. Oh, I got this. Wait, men nowadays are exhausted with the criticism. Okay. Hashim, what's going on, good brother? How you? Jay Willis said, I helped a customer, a black woman who moved from Cali because she thinks the dating / social scene isn't for us. If I wasn't at work, I would have said, don't put that on me because you're awkward. That's funny. Yeah, and honestly, guys, and I hope, we got some black women in the chat. I try my best to not focus my videos around black women because I'm honestly, after doing research on TikTok, black women they're fighting with everybody, man. I mean, and it may be to them doing it themselves, but they are spread thin in every argument on TikTok. Black women are arguing about makeup. They're arguing about another black woman who's shaming them, in regards to her asking for money or something like that. They're arguing with black men. They're arguing with white men, white women. I've seen it. Black women are involved in so many scuffles and scrums on TikTok. I'm like, God, dog, y'all got to remove yourself from these conversations. Whether it's colorism, y'all appropriating black women, just rumbling in spread thin. So even though we get a heavy dose of it as black men, black women are involved in so many different conflicts, man, on social media. It's crazy. And sometimes I just be wanting to go on women's, platforms and be like, hey, man, y'all got to chill. Because the other day you was just mad at black men. Now you mad at a black or white woman for being mad at the shade of makeup that Fenty is using, and it's not for us. And I seen this stuff, and I'm just noticing. I'm like, man, y'all in a lot of scuffles, involved in everything. You know what I'm saying? Was it what blonde, bad built, butch body? You know what I'm saying? That's going on. Whether it's politics, you just see black women rumbling on social media with in every space. We ain't getting enough promotion. When we post on TikTok, the algorithm don't show black women like they show these white women. Lord have mercy. It's just so much. And I'm not trying to add to that, but sometimes they come back around and be like, oh, we supposed to be focused on hating black men. So let's put out some false information. And that's where I got to come in. I'm like, here we go again. So it's sad, man. I'm trying to help. Jamaica says black women are allergic to criticism. I accept it, but often it hurts my feelings to know I'm not perfect. I think that's a biological thing. And majority said, I ain't trying to hear it. Yeah. And honestly, pick me. I used to be the same way until I joined the military. Hey, the military don't give a damn about your feelings. They call you with what is it called? Dirtbag troop. I know the Army has some great words for a shitty troop. I mean, dirtbag airmen. If you trash, you go see it on your enlisted performance report or your officer performance report. And that's where you got to get some thick skin. I remember the first time I really got yelled at, man, I got smoked. It was on, I remember this day. I was learning how to shoot the M60 gun. It's a machine gun, an old gun. It's now, we got the M240, use the M249. I was learning how to shoot the M60. I was going to be a 60 gunner. I've showed you guys pictures during wartime where I was in the turret. I used to be the gunner while I was on these combat deployments. And while I was learning how to shoot the M60 gun, I was learning how to be the assistant gunner. The assistant gunner is the guy who feeds, the rounds, the bandoliers to the actual gunner if that's your, mission at that time. And so I guess I wasn't going fast enough. And that instructor grabbed me by the back of my damn uniform and like turn me over. It's like, this could be life or death. And you sit there. He was cooking my ass. I felt the worst. I was almost in tears, brothers. Hey, he's like, hey, you gonna kill your whole squad if you don't get these rounds, downrange. And I'm like, shit, I guess I am in the military. He cooked my ass. But I got the message, and I was better from that point on. And went down and did three combat tours as an M60 gunner right in the turret. And this was before we had those up-armored Humvees. So I was just exposed with nothing but a helmet. I'm going to show y'all this picture. Do I still have it over there? Show you how exposed I used to be on these damn deployments. So, but he cooked my ass. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh man, but that gave you thick skin. So all this, YouTube stuff, some of the stuff I may be a little bit hardened because I see, black women like, hey man, why are all these black men talking about us, saying that we got attitudes? I'm like, man, that's light. That's light. Have you ever had your own existence questioned? Why are you here? Are you really trying to learn? That's the military for you. They break you down to build your ass back up into a better person. So sometimes I'd be like, man, this is light, but then I have to realize that, well, for one, we are talking to women, and these are civilians for the most part. So what's going on? Man, you got to tell me how to say this name. It's a cold name. Shavar Fair. 2 super chats said, depending on who's criticized, tell black women. Depending on who's criticized, tell black women, I believe. Nah, I think it's everybody, man. So Shamika said, all we do is fight. Even when you're talking, most of them broads think it's a fight. I'm a black woman and I'm tired. And I noticed that, you know what I noticed on Kendra G's show? Was it Kendra G's show? No, yes, it was. I remember there was it was a black woman on there, and she was like really loud and combative with Kendra G. And in the comments, there were black women in there blaming Kendra G. And I was like, how y'all don't see that this woman is crazy? But then I realized, I was like, well, maybe because they identify with that woman, because they all act like this. And then I started thinking back to Kevin Samuels' page, and he used to get pushed back for responding the way that he did to black women when they got crazy. They would be mad at him. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because they relate so much to that woman that they would do the same exact thing. And that's their personality as well. So that's why they see everybody else as wrong when everybody else in the world is like, hey, y'all acting a fool up here. But they don't see that because that's them. And I may be wrong. It's just a theory of mine, but I've noticed this. Like when we see somebody doing something crazy, they're like, nah, she was right. And I'm like, it's interesting. So, yeah, Project Leader said we not getting enough promotion. Oh, that's wow. I see the videos. She says she's ready to settle down, ain't she? So at 60 years old. Lord, somebody pray for her. Goodness. Yeah. Theo said dirtbag airman. Yeah. He caught a dirtbag airman. Combat entry vet, E6 type slug soldiers. Yeah. Theo said dirtbag airman equals young Theo cool. Yeah, man. A dirtbag. Just think of what that is. A bag of dirt. We was dusty before it was even a phrase or a word. A shaming tactic. We was dusty. We was dirt bags. Blue Sox said M60 is a Rambo gun. Yeah, Rambo. I mean, he was firing that thing, hip fired. No, we did not get to do that. So, no, there ain't no hip fire. We not Rambo. I went to every damn weapons school that you can imagine. I went to Mark 19 school. I'm not going to even tell you what a Mark 19 is unless somebody put it in the chat. Where are my military members? Y'all know what a Mark 19 gun is? Yes, I was trained on that while in Korea. Doop, 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 doop. Causing havoc in those dead beaten zones. Jamaica said the algorithm does black women who want to make a difference. My comments are often removed on IG and put in comment jail. Jesus Christ. This is sad. Sean said 499. Thank you, brother. Say I'm 46. I love black women, but they don't listen to us. They are too busy trying to tell us how to think and feel as a black man. It's tough, man. And we got time. That's why I'm going a little longer. I got a lot of time. It's Friday, so we chilling. We hanging out. Hey, what's going on, Sheem? It says salute, $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. So let's see here. Anybody figure out what a Mark 19 gun is? Hey, there we go. Mr. Robert, good old grenade launcher. It's an automatic grenade launcher, if you guys don't know. Yes, and it has pedals. That's what I learned how to fire in Korea. Go look it up on YouTube. And I have an old VHS tape, of me firing the Mark 19 gun, I believe as a A1C or a senior airman, one of them. So yeah, I was selected to go to that school. So I went there. Of course, learned how to fire the M60. I carried that on deployments. M249, the M203. That's the grenade launcher attached to the M16. Yeah, every weapon that you can imagine. Yeah, I've fired it and qualified on it. So let's see. JD said I was trained on one in the Navy, NECC community. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know y'all get that damn training. See, one, Mr. Ham, what's going on, brother? Said I like that gun on Call of Duty. Oh, and we have to I'll tell you something else. Fun fact: anybody that's in the military right now or in the Air Force, it's crazy. Said Vivica is just bitter. Can't see any man in their right mind taking on that challenge. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for her. But yeah, when you go to Air Advisor School and you go to field uncertain training out there in what's that base in Jersey? Whatever that base is in Jersey. When I went there, you have to get familiar with foreign weapons as well. So they teach you all that stuff. They teach you like cut languages depending on where you was going. I may be saying this wrong. I heard people say it Aramaic, Amharic, however y'all say it, the language in Ethiopia. What else? They teach you so much stuff. So yeah. So let's see here. Mr. Robert McCall said, Army captain, 14 years is a fun weapon salute. Oh, it definitely is, brother. Because first, when you train on with aluminum rounds, right? You have to train with the aluminum, big ass grenade rounds. And then, when it's time to qualify, they give you the real thing. Man. Jesus. Yeah, McGuire. And then the Army base is McGuire. It's Fort Dix McGuire now. Do I need to say pause, Fort Dix? Pause. Okay. But yeah, so in Fort Dix and McGuire is where Raven School was. I went there, went out in 2004. Then I had to go back for air advisor training and field craft uncertain training. So yeah, you get all that. So you go JD Fort Dix is a joint base. You meant to say, yeah. Y'all got it. Dix and McGuire. Yep. Y'all got it. Shaka Zulu, greetings all. What's going on? Let's see. JD, are you a Raven? I was a Raven. Hold on. Are you JD? Are you a Raven? Hold on. We got another Raven in the building. I got my badge. It's behind glass. But yeah, I'm a Raven. So I've been a Raven. I was a Raven in 2004. I went to school. So yeah. Somebody said, what happened? I just went to go grab a patch. So Definitely G, what happened? I'm here, brother. Don't worry. Let's see here. Harry Matthews said, yep, train on M19. Camp Lejeune. Yep. Marine. Definitely G, how heavy was the grenade launcher? Man, I can't remember. It's not something that you carry, but we did have to know the specs and how many rounds and all that type of stuff. You have to, y'all been to military schools, they give you all the nomenclature and shit. So we had to know the weight of it. I forgot now. But you have to be sitting to fire it. So you like right behind the weapon with two hands with the paddle. So let's see here. JD said, nice. I sent many of my guys to Raven School. Great qualification to have tough school, but opportunities with all law enforcement agency. What was your number? I'll have to check. It was something in the 1100s. I know it's high now. It has to be high now when I went. But yeah, it was one of my favorite things to do as security forces. One of the best things to do as security forces because I guarded both President Bushes. Fun fact. First time, the first visit that George Bush Jr., President George Bush Jr. went to, and when I was stationed in Korea, I got to go to China and guard his aircraft with him. Guarded Arnold Schwarzenegger. His dad, he had his first visit to Kuwait. I guarded him. So many crazy missions is amazing. I went to Howard Air Force Base. It's closed now. Y'all know where that is. Got to go to Howard. Yeah, it was amazing. It was crazy. Let's see here. Cool. Okay. All right. So this is a test for the guys. I got a video for y'all. And before anybody says it, I know this is a skit. However, the scenario is still a test for the men. I'm going to let it play through, but I want you guys, the men in the chat, to tell me where you would have ended the conversation. That's all I'm going to say about this. Okay? Let's go.
Wow, look at God. How you doing, beautiful?
I'm good.
Wow. What's your name?
Cash Out.
Cash Out?
Yep.
That's actually really funny. That's really funny, though. I'm JB Cash Out. JB Brown. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you even shake my hand with the wrong hand. You starting off with the wrong foot and the wrong hand. What's your real name?
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the name that like your parents gave you?
450.
Oh, even God got a sense of humor. I'm trying to tell you. Okay, 450 Cash App. All right. If I was trying to get to know you, like your character, I see you're funny. Like, okay, tell me something like this. Like, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
Right now, I'm in between jobs.
You're in between jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see how this is going. All right, I ain't gonna hold you, but maybe I can have your number.
Well, my phone's off, so that'll be $80.
Your phone is off.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, check it out. I was gonna give you my number, and I see where this is kind of going, and I ain't gonna hold you. Here you go. Take that. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
$200. What am I supposed to do with this?
I don't know.
Wow. So you don't want my number no more?
I'm good. Maybe go buy your personality.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Y'all get it. Finish that Cash App. This is the type of scenarios that I be telling y'all about. Y'all hold the power in these situations. That's why I never understand why men complain about women asking for all this stuff. I need you to pay bills. I need you to Cash App me $500. Brother, why are you still there? This shit pissed me off so much. And then at the end, he ended up giving her $200. For what? This type of stuff pisses me off, man, because I see men complaining on social media all the time. These women asking for this, this, and this. I'm like, they can ask all they want. That don't mean they're going to get it. She going to go into your pockets and grab the $500 out of there? Or make you cash app her? Why are you still staying? And this is another example of having a scarcity mindset. He's still asking for that woman's number and stuff like that after she already told you that her name is Cash App. And the funny thing is that women were in the comments saying that if she told you that her name is Cash App, that means she don't really like you. I don't care what she said it for. If you a man who has an abundance mindset, you don't stick around for that foolery. And it would stop y'all from having so much stress if you would just adopt this approach, especially on social media. These women are just virtue signaling on the type of men that they want, but they can't get. When you hear a woman say, I want a man that makes $200,000, I want a man who pays all the bills even though I'm working, she's virtue signaling. She's, in her mind, she thinks that I'm going to say this publicly so all the men that fit these requirements are going to run to my DMs and shoot their shot. No, it don't work like that. These men will avoid you because you have no humility. Guys, don't get in situations like this. If a woman tell you your name is Cash App, you don't even have to say good day. Just walk off and go get your hair cut or whatever food you was trying to go get. Yeah, she was cute at first. Now she's a liability. Get rid of her. Cut that. Oh. Time for the cuss again. If listen, I would have left at the eye roll she gave as soon as he asked her name. Y'all got to leave these women alone, man. Let them say what the hell they want to say. Remember this, guys. At the end of the day, these women are the ones that have to go on the dating market and see if they can get what they're asking for. That has nothing to do with you. So no matter what they say and try and shame men for being broke, well, ma'am, you have to find the men who aren't broke. And if they're not, attracting you, then, I mean, maybe you may be the problem. I'm going to put this picture up here. I should have sent it earlier. Because I hear women say this all the time. Hold on. And I know y'all seen this foolery that I made and posted it on the community post. Hold on, man. Let me show y'all something. It seems like this is women's favorite phrase. There's pee in the dating pool, but also her. Mr. Hanky, you must be the shit then. And not in a good way. So if you got all these flies, aka broke men, dusty men that's hovering around, and these are the only guys that approach you, well, guess what? You might be the shit. So don't go out here talking about this pee in the dating pool when you sitting there floating around in it. You know what I'm saying? I hope nobody was eating it. Oh man, and that goes to the point again. It's everybody else's fault. Everybody else, people get married, got relationships, but you the only one, huh? Okay. You can't find nobody, but everybody, for some reason, everybody else is. You are the shit. Jesus. Let me stop, man. So let's get to this narcissism talk. And I know people like, man, we done went 3 hours and we ain't even got y'all know how I do, man. We're gonna be here for a while. But first video I have is from a TED Talk. It's titled The Psychology of Narcissism. And this is literally going to set the table because I want to do this the most professional way possible. I opened up the DSM-5. It's a thick ass book like this. And I actually have the cliff notes from the review that I did on narcissism. And I'm going to give you guys all of the points. And if you can identify with 4 or 5 or more of these traits, I'm gonna go ahead and book you a session. So you need to go see the doctor, get evaluated. So yeah, let's get to it. Here we go. Fair use.
Way before the first selfie, the ancient Greeks and Romans had a myth about someone a little too obsessed with his own image. In one telling, Narcissus was a handsome guy wandering the world in search of someone to love. After rejecting a nymph named Echo, he caught a glimpse of his own reflection in a river and fell in love with it. Unable to tear himself away, Narcissus drowned. A flower marked the spot where he died, and we call that flower the Narcissus. The myth captures the basic idea of narcissism, elevated and sometimes detrimental self-involvement. But it's not just a personality type that shows up in advice columns. It's actually a set of traits classified and studied by psychologists. The psychological definition of narcissism is an inflated, grandiose self-image. To varying degrees, narcissists think they're better looking, smarter, and more important than other people, and that they deserve special treatment. Psychologists recognize 2 forms of narcissism as a personality trait: grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. There's also narcissistic personality disorder, a more extreme form, which we'll return to shortly. Grandiose narcissism is the most familiar kind, characterized by extroversion, dominance, and attention-seeking. Grandiose narcissists pursue attention and power, sometimes as politicians, celebrities, or cultural leaders. Of course, not everyone who pursues these positions of power is narcissistic. Many do it for very positive reasons, like reaching their full potential or helping make people's lives better. But narcissistic individuals seek power for the status and attention that goes with it. Meanwhile, vulnerable narcissists can be quiet and reserved. They have a strong sense of entitlement, but are easily threatened or slighted. In either case, the dark side of narcissism shows up over the long term. Narcissists tend to act selfishly, so narcissistic leaders may make risky or unethical decisions, and narcissistic partners may be dishonest or unfaithful.
So I want to stop it there from that leader aspect, right? And it brings us to that picture. Y'all ever seen that picture where they say the difference between a boss and a leader, where the boss is sitting there in the chariot telling people to go and pull him, where the leader is actually out in front and he's the first one pulling the cart or whatever, right? So in that aspect, it's so funny that they use that example because you see this a lot on social media, and I hope you guys caught on to this. Some of these traits, you start to see more and more of them because of these platforms. And as you guys know, there are more male narcissists than women. But I also learned that women rarely get tested for narcissism because the science behind it is that there's more men who are narcissistic because we tend to be in more positions of power. However, with the invention of social media, they're starting to see increases in women's narcissistic personality disorders. And that comes from being so I guess enamored with their own image, all types of things. So this is not just something that pertains to men. It also pertains to women as well, especially moving forward in the future. So let's continue.
When their rosy view of themselves is challenged, they can become resentful and aggressive. It's like a disease where the sufferers feel pretty good, but the people around them suffer. Taken to the extreme, this behavior is classified as a psychological disorder called narcissistic personality disorder. It affects 1 to 2% of the population.
Did you hear that? Narcissistic personality disorder affects 1 to 2% of the population, the total population. But if you listen to these dating conversations on these panels and these women with their own platforms, damn near every man that they dated is in that 1 to 2%. Oh man, he didn't call me back. He cheated on me. He is a narcissist. Like, shut up. Stop. Let's continue.
more commonly men. It is also a diagnosis reserved for adults. Young people, especially children, can be very self-centered, but this might just be a normal part of development. The 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual describes several traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. They include a grandiose view of oneself, problems with empathy, a sense of entitlement, and a need for admiration or attention.
Don't those characteristics sound like social media? Yeah, Cortez Smith is getting it. Said every IG model is a narcissist by definition. Yeah, and that's why I said listen to what they're saying. And IQ has said, $5 super chat, thank you. Said, I think all Black women have a small case of grandiose narcissism, symptoms, entitlement, selfishness, dishonest, and attention seeking. It's something to be studied because we were just talking about accountability and, seeing if you need to change. Maybe some truth to that, but it's just tough, man. It's tough. Let's see here. Rod said a constant need for admiration. Yep. Don Neal said, sounds like women. Yeah, and that's why you start to see an increase. So here we go.
What makes these traits a true personality disorder is that they take over people's lives and cause significant problems. Imagine that instead of caring for your spouse or children, you use them as a source of attention or admiration. Or imagine that...
Did you hear that? Using your children as a source of admiration. You see that on social media. There's literally women and families now, but it's more so gravitated towards the women pushing it, where they use their children as content creators. Like the page is geared for the child to make money, right? And it's one funny one, and this was kind of done on accident. And I love watching the videos and see how this has progressed. There's a little baby, like a toddler, where the wife, the baby's mom, was asking who wants to go to Four Seasons Orlando, and the baby put her hand up like me, and everybody was like, how does this baby know what Four Seasons Orlando is? And they were calling the baby the conscious baby or something. And there's so many stitches where people put like some eloquent man speaking, yes, mother, I would like to go to the Four Seasons Orlando. But that was done on accident. And they took the baby to Four Seasons or whatever. It's funny. But there's a lot of content creators that are based off of their children. And you see this in the definition of narcissism. So here we go.
Instead of seeking constructive feedback about your performance, you instead told everyone who tried to help you that they were wrong. So what causes narcissism? Twin...
Hold on. Listen to this. Didn't I just cover this? And IQS just said something. Hold on. Listen.
You instead told everyone significant problems. Imagine that instead of caring for your spouse or children, you used them as a source of attention or admiration. Or imagine that instead of seeking constructive feedback about your performance, you instead told everyone who tried to help you that they were wrong.
This comes right on the heels of what IQ has just said. And what I just said earlier with my black box analogy. Pause. Sorry. It's like it's everybody else's fault. Like, Jesus, come on, man. Like, this is sad. Oh, man. This is sad. Let's continue.
So what causes narcissism? Twin studies show a strong genetic component, although we don't know which genes are involved. But environment matters too. Parents who put their child on a pedestal can foster grandiose narcissism, and cold, controlling parents can contribute to vulnerable narcissism. Narcissism also seems to be higher in cultures that value individuality and self-promotion.
Does that sound like the black community? Did y'all hear what this? I'm glad I did this live stream, man. Listen, go back. Let's go back. Oh, man. Jesus.
To vulnerable narcissism. Narcissism also seems to be higher in cultures that value individuality and self-promotion. In the United States, for example, narcissism as a personality trait has been rising since the 1970s, when the communal focus of the 60s gave way to the self-esteem movement and a rise in materialism. More recently, social media has multiplied the possibilities for self-promotion. Though it's worth noting that there's no clear evidence that social media causes narcissism. Rather, it provides narcissists a means to seek social status and attention. So can narcissists improve on those negative traits? Yes. Anything that promotes honest reflection on their own behavior and caring for others, like psychotherapy or practicing compassion towards others, can be helpful.
So the biggest thing there, especially talking to Black community, in particular Black women, and I hate to do this, but the self-reflection aspect of this is very important. Just like the young woman that was complaining about the dating scene in LA, instead of getting mad at Black men, why don't y'all do some self-reflection and be like, hey man, maybe it's us. That could be a possibility. Instead, y'all sit there and watch it, what Black men are doing. Instead of, saying, hey man, maybe we need to improve. But this is the only way that these things can get better. You have to self-reflect. Accountability. I mean, shocker, right? Lord, here we go.
The difficulty is, it can be challenging for people with narcissistic personality disorder to keep working at self-betterment. For a narcissist, self-reflection is hard from an unflattering angle.
Man, such a great video and a great way to start it off. So yeah, it was a lot of things that you can kind of relate to, or you probably see in your day-to-day social media lives. When you go out there and you see these conversations, you see a lot of these traits, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But just take a look at the DSM-5 and see what these traits are. So narcissistic personality disorder is diagnostically defined in the DSM-5 as a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and lack of empathy with interpersonal entitlement, exploitiveness, arrogance, and envy. 5 out of 9 of these criteria need to be present to meet the diagnosis of MPD. And here's the 9. So y'all, hey, pay attention. If these hit a little bit home, hey, you might want to start, book an appointment. Here we go. So DSM-1, in regards to MPD, grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievement and talent, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. Jesus. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to just y'all go ahead and listen. Here we go. DSM-2, fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. Choice. Okay. Wait, what happened? Let's see if he comes back. Who? We had a troll in the account? Did y'all took care of it? Wait, did the stream go off? Are we back? We back? Can y'all see me? Okay. I think it may have been that TED Talk. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Oh yeah, it said, man, I tested this. What the hell are they talking about? Your stream was interrupted, Media Man. You have okay. Oh, okay. It was that. I tested that. Why they say it was good? We good. We back. Let me make sure everything good. All right, cool. We back. We back in it. Yeah. They cleared it up. I guess it was at TED Talk, but I tested it earlier and they said I was good to go. That's whack. But yeah, but let's go over it. Hopefully, I'm gonna go back on the DSM-5 stuff. Here we go. Just in case y'all missed it. All right. But let me be clear. Did y'all get a chance to listen to the TED Talk video? Was it played all the way through? Put a 1 in the chat if the TED Talk actually played. I'm about to remove that. Did it y'all put one? Okay, cool. All right, so I'll start at the DSM-5. Thank you, True Seeker. Cool. Let's get to it. So I'll read this again just in case you guys didn't hear it. So narcissistic personality disorder is diagnostically defined in the DSM-5 as a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and lack of empathy with interpersonal entitlement, exploitiveness, arrogance, and envy. 5 out of 9 of these criteria need to be present to meet the diagnosis of NPD. The 9 criteria, here they go. Number 1 is grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievement and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without commensurate achievements. 2, fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. And again, 5 of them need to be present in order for you to be diagnosed with NPD. And this is not medical advice. This is just simply education. Okay? 3, belief in special and unique and can only be understood by or should be associated with other special or high status people or institutions. Lord. Is saying it again? Hold on. Are we still, y'all still can see me? This is playing on my end. Let me know. Are we good? Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Cool. All right. Let's get back to it. Number 4, requires excessive admiration. Social media. Anyone? 5, sense of entitlement, unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. Jesus. Some of this stuff sounds very familiar with a particular group. 6, interpersonally exploitive, i.e. takes advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. Jesus. 7, lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. 8, envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. And that's a funny one because I hear people say, and I used to clown my brother about this when he used to compete in his bodybuilding shows. He was like, man, they said that I wouldn't make it. And I'm like, who is they? Who is they? They said that they thought that I wouldn't make it. Or I got ops after me, haters after me, haters trying to bring me down. Who's the haters? Where they at? This is what that sounds like. So, oh man. And then we have the DSM-9, the last one, arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. Lord have mercy. And then there is some treatment, but it varies. There's, motivational, varies depending on patient's experiences. The treatment is free. Individual, NPD usually seeks treatment primarily because of acute crises caused by vocational or personal failures or losses. So typically, basically what they're saying is people tend to get treated for narcissism or narcissistic personality disorder when something like crazy happens, right? It's never nothing like you would see for yourselves. It's rarely a self like diagnosed thing. Like you tell yourself, hey, I may need to go see the doctor for having these narcissistic traits. No, it's typically by somebody else, or you've done something and you feel a certain way, and then it comes to a head, and then you go to the doctor and I ask you, hey, have you ever been treated for narcissistic personality disorder? And in the Air Force, I know that there were some studies about the pilots. The pilots used to have to get treated for this. All right, at least they used to have to go through the test or whatever to see if they have any of these traits, because as in certain instances, pilots have to have this type, fighter pilots, they have to have this type of mindset, so to speak, like they're better than everybody else. And it was actually a black pilot on Joe Rogan's show. He actually said that. He was like, yeah, it's kind of encouraged as fighter pilots. So, yes. Oh, man, it was funny. But, yeah, so I'm glad to see we back good to go, man. That damn TED Talk pissed me off because I tested it, and they said we was good. So, it is what it is. But, yeah, so that was a review of the DSM-5. Now you guys are familiar with the 9 different traits. And if you have 5 of those, then they will officially diagnose you as with narcissistic personality disorder. So I basically wanted to play that video, first one, to make sure that women understood that every man that you date and did you wrong, they're not a narcissist, okay? So it just is what it is. So let's hopefully this video don't backtrack on my ass. Let's get to it. This is a good one. I got show you make sure I have her name right before we open up this video. Ramani Durvasula. She's a PhD psychologist, author, and she is a professor of psychology. So she is going to identify 4 different signs of narcissism. This is one of the best videos that I've seen. I mean, seriously. So let's get to it. Here we go.
In our previous video with Dr. Ramani, we talked about the signs to look out for when dating a narcissist. Now we're going to talk about the 4 different types of narcissists. Dr. Ramani, thanks for being back here with us.
Thanks.
This topic is so fascinating, especially being in Los Angeles, which I feel like might be the narcissistic capital of the world.
You know what I said to someone once? I said, you want to study tortoises? Work in the Galapagos. You want to study narcissism? Live in Los Angeles.
I mean,
okay, so there goes that Los Angeles again. Didn't that woman just talk about black men dating in LA? Let's continue.
I mean, it is rampant here.
Yes, it is.
I think so, at least.
Yeah.
Before we get into those 4 types, quick question. In your estimation, what percentage of the population is narcissistic?
Yeah, it's a tough one because, again, it's a trait, right? It's not like a disorder where we could actually do an interview or figure it out. It's if I were to hazard a guess, like people who are noticeably narcissistic, where you're like, whoa, I would put that number probably to 10 to 15%. By no means do I think it's a majority. When you think of your own friends, most of them are sane, good, empathic, kind people. But I do think that at 10 to 15%, that's a lot of people. Now, again, I'm sort of pulling that number out of the air. It's just a difficult statistic to get. Not to mention that the measurement scales we have are not not very good.
Right.
Yeah.
But to think even if you're in a room of 20 people, 1 to 2 of them
easily
actually would be classified as narcissistic.
And it depends on what kind of room. Like, you know, if you're sort of like an entertainment industry effect, I'm going 50%, you know, but if you're, you know, or you're like a lawyer banker meeting or something like that.
A little higher.
But I don't know, if you're at some sort of like a community volunteer meeting, probably 1 to 2 is more
Very good
likely.
point.
Yeah.
So I was shocked to find out that there is not just a blanket term, narcissism or narcissistic. There's actually 4 different categories for this. Let's talk about those.
Yeah, if you look at the research, and this is definitely, as I've gone over the years looking at what's been written, I really do think that 4 primary types have emerged. They're sort of our classical grandiose narcissists. That's sort of like the, I don't know, the Chanel suit of narcissism. It's the classic representation of the person who's sort of very egotistical, arrogant, attention-seeking, validation-seeking. Look at me, I'm so great. Don't I have a beautiful house? They don't stop to listen to anybody. Again, your garden variety, grandiose narcissist.
So basically what she's explaining there, it sounds like social media on many different points that she just said. It's pretty crazy. Social media has changed a lot. So, thank you. Let's see. Dante Bryant, $20 super chat said, not Dr. Ramen Noodles. MHD cooks her on a regular basis because she's very hypocritical. She got triggered because he used one of her interviews to illustrate the dynamic of dating a single mother. Oh, okay. Well, this ain't got nothing to do with that. This is just a narcissistic personality traits. Appreciate it, brother. Let's go.
Okay. Far more problematic is the malignant narcissist. This is the person who is all the things the grandiose narcissist is, lacking empathy, entitled and grandiose and big and pompous, but they're also really mean. They will do really bad things. They almost feel like they're a little bit psychopathic. They often won't even feel that bad, maybe a little bit guilty, but not really.
What do you mean they do bad things?
They will steal money from a company. They will cheat on their partner.
Oh, like really bad things.
Like really bad things. Yeah, no. I'm not taking saying take more peppermints than they should from.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
No. I'm talking like big ticket bad. And they'll lie, they cheat, they steal. These are your Bernie Madoff types. You know, like really malignant. They just sort of they make great criminals. You know, and again, when we could talk about it at some point, there's a difference between a psychopath and a narcissist. By and large, a narcissist, even a malignant narcissist, will feel a little bad about doing some things, especially feel bad if they've hurt other people in their circle. So if they do bad things, they'll be sorry they hurt their family, but they often won't really care about other victims, that kind of thing. So that's your malignant narcissist.
And like I said, man, these are good points. I'm not familiar with any of her additional work, but this is good. So hopefully you guys are following. Like I said, I'm not interrupting too much because I believe that she was spot on. Of course she would be spot on. She's a doctor of psychology, so she would know. So it's good information. Let's continue.
Then there are some other types of narcissism that people don't realize and that makes so much more sense. The key one in that one is called covert narcissism. Covert is a word that means secret, really. So a covert narcissist is somebody who is very sort of put upon by the world, but they're still grandiose. So they'll say things like, yeah, I'm a really great photographer, but the world never really noticed my greatness. I guess I just came up at the wrong time. And all these cameras you guys use now, it's easy now, but back when I was taking pictures, I could have been one of the great ones.
Is a covert narcissist older?
They can be, but not necessarily.
Okay.
They often feel like life done them wrong. They can be quite passive aggressive. They're
So the life done them wrong thing, and I'm glad that she pointed that out. I tend to see that one more so on men. After doing a little bit of research and watching some of these shows, I tend to see men complaining about, not being genetically blessed when it comes to height. Kind of, just saying, hey, I didn't have the best upbringing. And that's the reason why. And that's why I keep saying, man, you got to go to therapy for those childhood issues. are any dating issues that you have, man, I mean, sometimes it just is what it is. And I hate to see men complaining about certain things that they have no control over. If you were born less than 6 feet, it is what it is, brothers. You got to do what you got to do. So, so let's, oh man. Blue Baggins said, I feel like life's done me wrong. I'm still winning. Yeah, you got to push through. I mean, it is what it is. We all had our tough times. Damn sure, I damn sure did. You know, but we got to keep going. What you going to do? Stop? So let's continue. Fair use.
That person, they almost feel depressed. And in fact, more than a few of us will initially think the covert narcissist has depression and will treat them for depression. Well, this is not getting better, and it has been 10 months. Even if they're on meds by now, something should have happened.
So someone who has been classified as a covert narcissist and then treated for depression will not show improvement.
If they're depressed, they'll show some improvement in their depression, but they'll still walk around like, woe is me. Why doesn't anyone see how great I am? I do so many great things for the world, and I guess it wasn't my time. And, you know, and they'll be very vulnerable. If somebody said, they're very hypersensitive to criticism. So if somebody says, yeah, those pictures were good, but we're not going to be able to hang them up in our gallery. What? And they'll throw a tantrum. They'll become really cold. They'll become distant. No, I'm not coming to your gallery opening. My pictures weren't good enough for you. That's the covert narcissist.
Kind of like.
Okay, so and I want to be clear here on this. Like I said, guys, I am on the hiring panel when we do hire new individuals. Don't get this. It's normal to think. Let's say you do an interview with the company and you don't get the job, it's okay to think, man, who the hell was better than me? How the hell didn't I get this job? I'm overqualified for this job. And you telling me that somebody was better than me? It's normal to feel that way after being rejected for a job that you actually wanted and you felt that you qualified or were overqualified for. The problem lies when a pattern starts to happen and you start to continuously blame people for your failures. They didn't see the beauty in me, or they didn't see my worth. So now it's all of you guys' fault. And I did that for a reason. You know, when I see or hear people, particularly women, saying, I know my worth, how? Who validated that worth for you? Like, men have to validate that if you're talking about marriage and relationships. I'm not talking about your self-worth and how much you own or earn or whatever that is. I'm talking about from a dating aspect. And this is what gets a lot of people in trouble. They'll sit there and say, I know my worth, but if nobody is valuing your worth on the dating market, then some self-reflection may need to be had. But if not, and you continuously blame everybody else in the world for not seeing how good of a person that you are, then you may be the problem and you may need to go to therapy. Seek help. Okay?
I'm not fired, I quit.
Yes, exactly. They really do feel like the world never got their greatness.
Wow.
That's it, you know, I didn't want the job anyway. You know how it is. So let's continue. Fair use.
Wow.
That's the covert narcissist.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in Los Angeles.
A lot of that. And then that often gets missed as, well, no, they're not even that confident. I'm like, no, listen, they really, it's always like, nobody gets how great I am.
So I know there's a fourth one, but before we go into that, let's dive into that. How would I know, as I'm not a clinical, psychologist, how would I know if my friend or this person needs confidence, needs a boost, or if they're a covert narcissist?
Look at how victim-y they feel. You know, like how much like, no one gets me or nobody gets how great I am. It's because it's always in a sense of it's nobody quite gets their excellence. There's sort of an arrogance to them.
Y'all, and I hate to keep stopping it, but there's so many good points. You know, nobody knows my worth. Y'all listen to these conversations that you hear on social media. You hear this all the time. It's insane. It's crazy. It's gotten out of hand.
versus a person who really is like, nah, I did not do a good job on this pie. I know I could do better. Let me give it another shot. So there's almost like this sense of efficacy, the word that means like, I'm going to give it a try. I recognize what I did wrong. They often won't take ownership. The covert narcissist will say, I see what my part was in this. I see why it didn't go right. The covert narcissist will blame the world.
They'll very
say,
clear.
That the world is to blame for why I did not succeed.
All right, what is our fourth type?
The fourth one is a fascinating one. I read an article about this and I was like, rarely do scientific articles get you as excited as I'm running around the university saying, you gotta read this.
Oh my gosh, I love
It's called the communal narcissist.
Now pay attention, guys. This is good.
Communal.
The communal narcissist is that person, for example, all over their social media feed is like, off to feed the homeless today, but they're like really well made up, or like, it's Dog Rescue Thursday, and they're always out there trying to save the world. They go to galas and they go to benefits and they write big checks, but they need a lot of recognition. They need a lot of like, can we name this after you? Can we name that after you? And they walk around saying, look at all the good things I do. Like they'll have a website with them holding like children in impoverished regions of the world, but like they're always really well put together and they talk about it a lot. Like, look at my greatness. I'm all about giving back. And that's your communal narcissist, because what you will see is a tremendous lack of empathy for the so-called people they're trying to help. And in essence, sometimes even a grandiosity, like I'm above these things I'm rescuing, helping, give me oh so much recognition. And they seek a lot of validation for all their good works.
I know y'all have seen those types of people before where they videotape themselves giving the homeless a couple dollars or something like that. Like everything don't have to be, broadcast on social media, right? And a lot of people do that these days because they want people to see their good acts. And I'm glad that they coined a word for it, communal narcissist. So let's continue.
I know people watching right now are going, I know that person. I know that person. And if you're not, maybe you are that person. I know that person. I was given some really great advice by somebody out here in Los Angeles, and he said, and it was to a group of people, he said, you need to go volunteer. You need to go do something for somebody and not tell anybody that you did it.
That's it.
Just do it because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I often say do good quietly.
Yeah. Now, did you mention earlier off camera something about stealth narcissism?
Well, the stealth narcissism is almost more of that covert narcissism.
Okay.
Like you don't, and this is where people get confused by it because they'll say, I kind of feel bad for this girl or guy, so I'm sticking it out. I just don't think they have much confidence. I kind of feel bad, but oh my God, every day is woe is me.
So that's the interchangeable.
The thing the covert narcissist will do in a relationship, for example, is like, yeah, it must be nice you got that promotion. Like, I'm happy for you, but I've been working at this for years. It must be a lot easier to get ahead in your job.
Wow. That's good. You hear these excuses all the time when you reference it to relationships. It's like, well, I'm not going to use another example. It's just too easy to use these Black relationship discussions. You hear the colorist thing, well, it was easier for you to get married because you light skinned, and all this type of stuff. And it's bad, man. I was listening to this and I was like, I can use so many examples. It's crazy. So let's continue. Fair use.
Really fascinating. Okay. Now, in our other video, when we were talking about how to spot the signs of a narcissist, you really use the pronouns he, his, him a lot. Okay. Are men more likely to be narcissists than women?
They are.
Why is that?
I mean, the statistics have always been very clear on that. It's much more prevalent in men. If I were to take all the narcissists in the world, my guess would be 80-20. Wow. That's changing. Sad to say, this is one of those times women are going to break this glass ceiling, and they're catching
the narcissist glass ceiling.
Yeah, but
see, so that's a point that I wanted to make clear, and I said that before. When they start doing these additional statistics, are these new statistics, research and stuff like that, women are increasing. So that number is going to change, drastically. Like she said, out of all the narcissists in the world, maybe she would say 80-20 split, 80% men, 20% women. But things are changing. So, and once people start getting diagnosed with it, statistics start to show up, I would bet money that there's an increase of women, being diagnosed with NPD. It's not medical advice, just my theory, education. So here we go.
But yeah, it's definitely more men, and part of that is socialization. Men, even as boys, are not taught to talk about their emotions as much, to not be as tuned into that. Empathy, compassion, vulnerability, these things are not valued in boys and they're not valued in men, and those are often the core of character. And so we tell boys, ignore those feelings, toughen up, and so that toughen upness can turn into things like a lack of empathy. And so men are also very measured on their achievements, being a provider, making lots of money, having a big title, having a big house. And so those kinds of drives, which are definitely pushed more for men, more valued in men, those again are very superficial drives. And so as a result, they're going to be more manifested in men, which again can make that greater vulnerability to being more narcissistic. We just talk.
So, and stop it right there. We know about this stuff. We hear these types of things in these spaces all the time. And Chris Rock, he summed it up the best, where he said men are only valued based off the things that they can provide, right? Women, children, and dogs are only things that's loved unconditionally. Men are only loved based off the things that they can provide. We know this. We hear all this all the time. It's tough, man. It's in certain instances, it's tough being a man. Yes, it's some benefits, but it's tough. Let's continue. Fair use.
Tolerate it more. If a woman behaves in a narcissistic way, she's often checked early in the game. Whereas if a boy or a man behaves that way, he's not called out.
Would you even say maybe they're applauded?
Oh, not only are they applauded, there are CEOs.
Yeah.
There are world leaders.
Right.
They are our celebrities. They are our athletes. They are our music stars. You better believe it. In fact, if I wrote a book on narcissism, it becomes a how-to guide for how to achieve in the New World Order.
That is a huge, huge statement.
Yeah.
So she's framing it as like the majority of those men in those spaces are narcissists. I disagree. It's just you have to be competitive in these spaces, and that's where a lot of psychologists mess up, in my opinion. They automatically assume that trait has to be there. No, it's just that men are very competitive, and you have to be in order to get to the top. And then, honestly, that's the types of guys that damn near run the world. So to sit there and say that the majority of these men they would be found as sports players and being leaders of companies, I don't agree with that at all. We're just competitive by nature. It is what it is. It's my opinion. So let's continue.
It's true.
And it's true.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you wrote a book about narcissism, it would be the how-to guide on how to succeed in the New World Order.
Yes. In business and in wealth accumulation, yes. In your interpersonal life, absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right. So let's stop there. And like she said, in business, it's different. You have to have specific traits in order to win. And that's what, the existence of being a man is built off of. So like I said, I thought that was a great video for you guys to view. Don't know any of our other talking points. Don't care. I just wanted to get that information out to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I think it was pretty good. So we almost going on 4 hours. So we got to get out of here. I know it's a Friday and I want you guys to enjoy your weekend. That's some bad news. I ordered some shirts on Amazon. Now they updated it. Said I ain't getting them until June 4th. That's trash. It is what it is. So I'm definitely going to be back on Monday. Won't be able to do a Saturday show because we definitely will be busy. And I'm going to try and see if I can go to Mr. G Rap's opening. Hopefully I can if we got time. But yeah, so appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. We covered a lot of different topics. A lot of great information was shared from myself and also from the chat. You guys are very bright and intuitive, when these conversations come up. And I think that's a good thing because it lets me know that we don't need to rehash certain conversations because it seems that you guys get it. I mean, that's what I see. And don't let people turn you off from trying to view this type of content or getting into arguments. They know that these spaces are necessary. Seriously. I think they're necessary, especially if you're coming at, approaching it in good faith. So I think it's important, especially for black men, young black men in particular, so you won't make the same mistakes that we did, right? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the fitness talk, the dating talk discussions, the narcissism talk, the DSM-5. This was amazing. So appreciate it. Let's see here. Cortez Smith, she refused to say women / Instagram models yet. And she's a woman, so she's protecting women. You know how they do. Cortez, even though she knows it's mostly women, I'm pretty sure. I would bet money. Queez Cortez says, is there a line between competition and narcissism? Yeah, there is, because when you start blaming other people for why you're not succeeding or why you're failing, and just as he's saying that, hey, maybe that person was better than me, I have to try harder next time. But if you continuously say that you are the best that you can be, and every time you fail at something or you don't get the position, and it's always everybody else's fault that they didn't see the greatness in you, I think there's a line that needs to be drawn right there, right? Because self-reflection is necessary. Maybe you need to improve, or maybe you need to ask questions as to what this person did in order to get the position that you didn't. And why does this continuously happen when you show up the same way? You got to improve. But instead, you blaming everybody else. That's the line, in my opinion, that needs to be drawn. IQS says, so she's basically calling out Trump. That's funny. Mr. GS says, starts at 6 p.m. Okay, cool. Thank you, brother. And opening, yeah, it's opening. Auto Spa, I like that. Tote GA 007 said, of course, they're not marriage minded. I'm Gen X, and the women of my generation grew up watching Friends and especially Sex and the City. They want to roll the dice with that box before they marry. And it's unfortunate because there's so much information out there telling women how this is going to end. You can even use examples. Vivica Fox. She's the most recent one. All these women are coming out the woodworks now saying that they're ready to settle down. Ebony K. Williams is another one. She's a perfect example, and she's probably one of the only ones that's somewhat taking accountability for the actions that she had or the thought process that she had when she was younger. She literally said on the Brilliant Idiots with their first marriage that she was a horrible wife because she wanted to focus on her career. And now she understands that it's tough. I mean, women have all the information out there, but they just refuse to take it or accept it. And I'm speaking in particular to black women. It's sad because you see it. And as a man, they don't like us, black men, especially with a podcast. And I'm sitting there like, hey, man, some of this information is good. Maybe y'all need to listen, especially when we talk about dating and marriage. I mean, you cannot just simply overlook the fact that every publication is saying that black women are the least married and the most divorced. That says it right there. So y'all need to smarten up, man. Want some help. So we'll end it there. But I appreciate y'all joining in again. Thank you to everybody who sent in super chats. Let me check the cash apps. Okay, I'm good to go. Cool. All right. So make sure y'all tune in on Monday. Remember, enjoy the rest of your weekend. June is here. Be safe. Eat healthy. Hit that gym. I'm going to be in there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Get mine on. So it's going to be great, man. I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you. And I'll end with, of course, some advertisement and also some space age pimping. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. You'll see in a second. I'm out. Media Man out. God bless y'all. Peace. Thank you. go ahead and make sure you click that link, get you some Teej Hanley, and support the Media Man YouTube channel, and also support Teej Hanley.
How can I be sure that